Okay, now you're in for a treat because you get to learn from some of the best in this whole industry and in our company. And so, first up, it's going to be a group of ladies, and these ladies are spectacular. They joined a little over a year ago, and what they came in and did, they transformed our whole company. To be totally honest, we have never had anybody done anything like what they have done. So we have Stephanie Wilson, we have Crystal Williams, and we have Ursula. And she's in the back. She comes. But they're going to come up. They're going to talk about social media, converting customers to brand partners. So if you want to take your business to the next level, I've been able to watch these amazing ladies do just that. So here y'all go.
Yes, I have to talk first. Yeah, we're going to hand the mic over to our talker. Sorry. Okay, so when we signed up, we did not know what we were doing. We just knew that we signed under a lady in Vernon, and she started posting. She had a lot of followers already. So we just started taking pictures of, us taking the drops, of the box of the drops. Like, I love sitting by the swimming pool and lake and tanning all day. So I just take pictures with, the drops and stuff by the pool. But that one got a lot. But yeah, that was me and Krista when we went to Bahamas, and we took it on the airplane, and, we got a lot of attention from that. But what you post, I screenshot what I post, and I post it to my story. Then I go to my Instagram. I post the exact same thing with the exact same wording, and I post it to my Instagram. I then screenshot it and post it to my Instagram story. Then I also go to Snapchat and post it to my Snapchat story, because there's a lot of people that are busy, and sometimes they will pull your story rather than pull your post on your page all day long. Another tip, I try to make all three of my platforms the same picture, the profile picture. I also try to do that with your PayPal, your Venmo. I try to keep that same picture the same also. That way they can find me. When somebody comments underneath your post, boosting or not, I go and I try to make, something, or even if I'm post or comment on Krista's, I go and I look at what she posts, and I'll pull something from that post to comment instead of just doing the clappy hands. Yes, sometimes I do because I get in a hurry, but you do want to engage that post, not just like awesome or, whatever. You do want to pull like, oh my God, she lost 28 pounds in 3 weeks. You pull something from that post. I don't know. I know it's fun, family, what is it? And drops or product. Yeah. So my kids are older. Keegan just turned 20. Sawyer's fixing to be 22. So they don't like me to post near as much because they have their own teenage, or really they're out of their teenage life. So they don't really want me to post a whole lot. So mostly I just post product. So, whatever. If people don't want to look at what they're posting or what I'm posting, they can keep scrolling, or they can hide me or block me, whatever. I don't care. But Todd says I post like 27 times a day. Whatever I do, but depending on what I'm doing. So yeah, like shopping, we try to do a video or a reel, but I don't know. I just try to keep it real. I do try to post a little bit here and there, doing what we're doing, but mostly this is what consumes me. So, do you want me to talk about like me quitting my job while I'm up here? Okay, so I started it as a side hustle. I was teaching. Being a para in pre-K in Chipley. So I didn't really get engaged. I signed up in March, didn't get engaged until about May, but I wanted it for extra shopping money because all I want to do is shop. Sit by the pool and then shop. So let's take that back. Yeah. So, yeah, I know. So I was always going through my paycheck and then like pulled my hand out. And then, Jimmy took his debit card away from me because then I started on his. So I was like, well, okay, well, something's got to give. I've got to have a side hustle for some extra money. So that's what I started it as. And then they wanted to put me into a classroom that I didn't want to go in. So I was like, well, I can make my car payment sitting by the pool selling drops. That's what I'm fixing to do. So that's what it turned into. But I don't know. I lost 12 pounds maintaining, fluctuate here and there, but I had a hysterectomy a year and a half ago. I've lost 3 pant sizes and I don't jog with a knee brace. I don't jog with 2 knee brace or a shin brace and a knee brace. I still work out. I have energy. Mood is 10 times better. So Jimmy likes for me to take them because he says I'm grouchy when I'm not. So, and he's lost about 30 something pounds, but he can't stay on them because I sell his box all the time. So we most of the time share, and then I keep them with me. Travis knows I keep them with me. So he just takes them mostly at nighttime because that's when he sees my drops laying there. So, I mean, I'm sorry for his luck. I'm taking them, whatever. But I don't know. We just have fun. We have meetings in Shipley every other Mondays. We just run this together. You come when you can.
We jump on.
We jump on Zooms. We help each other out. Misty is always there as well, helping us out. I don't know. I just post. People like seeing what you're doing. Like today, I'll do a reel of people up here talking or whatever. Just have fun with it.
Good job. So I will just hit on the fact that, like I said, I'm a stay-at-home mom, and most of y'all have heard me say I live in the woods. I don't really know where I live. In the middle of nowhere. I stay at home. I don't go out. I don't have a big group of friends, and I do now, but I didn't. I'm always home. Like my kids aren't really in sports, so there's not, that excuse. We weren't involved in anything. So I literally was like a homebody in the middle of nowhere in the woods. So I realized quickly that if I want this to work, I have to post. That's it. Like I'm not talking to people because I'm not around people. So I have to post. That was me. So I took that. Yeah. And I just started sharing. I mean, I felt good, so I wanted to share. And then I always make sure to add, the fun, the product. And when I do make a post, I don't do long posts. So that might be a tip from some people. And I always try to add like emojis or something that catches people's eyes because a lot of people don't want to read a whole story. Pictures, they catch people's eyes. I do always share to my story, like Stephanie said, and I have my Instagram connected to my Facebook. So it goes to everything. TikTok, I do TikTok a little bit. I need some help with that. So if any of y'all, Jimmy, yeah. So I just share, and I try to share constantly, with the boards. I have the professional mode with the Facebook, schedule your posts if you need to, 9 and 3, and then 4, 5, 6, and 7, and how you want to do it. And like Stephanie said, at first I was like, oh my gosh, I don't want to, bother people or they're going to think I'm annoying. And then I was like, you know what? I don't care. They can block me and delete me, which some people did that I thought were my friends, but that's okay. They weren't my friends anyways. So I just, it's been over a year. I will say I just had a friend who has watched me for over a year. She actually tried the drops a year ago. And I've known her for over 10 years. She was on a lot of stuff and they didn't work for her then. She didn't finish the bottles. Monday, she decided to try the rest of her bottles. And by Thursday, she's like, these work. A year later, she opened them back and she signed up. She joined the business. So that was pretty cool. It took a year, but people are watching you. Just stay consistent. We can keep scrolling. I do. Another thing is I try to tag him in a lot of my posts because we do have a lot of the same friends, but then he has friends,
And a lot of my friends have that type A personality. It's like, I don't need no help. I got it.
Yeah.
He does, but
that's not.
He's going to touch back on some about fishing.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Ursula.
Here, if you would come up front. No.
Yeah, you went from a friends list of maybe.
Oh yeah.
So that's what I planned this. So I'm telling you, I didn't talk to people. Like my friends list, I think I had like 700 friends or something, but I probably only talked to 4. and they were my family. So like, I literally did not talk to people. So I knew, like I said, quickly, I need to figure this out. And then I started adding people and then consistently posting, and then they, will reach out to me.
Almost what, 3,000 prints now?
2.5.
I don't even know. All right. Hey, everybody. Everybody pretty much knows me, but I started a year ago with Stephanie as I was dropping my child off. And
At the Hardwook line.
Yeah, the Hardwook line. I had been praying about some things, financially, physically, mentally, emotionally, all the things. And she was telling me a little bit about it. And I was just like, no, I can't do that because I don't talk to people. I'm not very outspoken. So I went back home. Yeah, I went back home and I prayed about it a little bit more. And I was like, you know what? If God places in my life, who am I to say no? So I saw Stephanie again and she was like, just do it. And I was like, okay, I'll do it. So I ended up joining the company before starting the drops. And within my first week of starting drops, I lost 7 to 8 pounds. I started out at 196, size 14, 43-inch waist, just tired, miserable, not loving life. It was just, we were struggling marriage-wise, things. And it was hard. So I started, and I'm looking back, like,
You tell everybody now.
yeah, I do. Stephanie got me talking to everybody, but she did. But now like, I feel better. My body doesn't hurt. I'm able to go to the gym and work out. I did not work out the whole first year. I did the one time we went to Tennessee and I couldn't walk for 4 days, literally. But she did. But all that happened without being able to work out. And I wanted to see how it would help people that couldn't get to the gym, didn't have the time to go to the gym. And now I'm down size 8, 30-inch waist, 153. I got off medications within 3 months. We've all been anxiety, depression, sleeping, all of the things. So I finally off of that, and I don't know, I share it at the ball field. I am happy.
Smile.
Yes, and that was one thing, like, when my husband's brother, he was like, whatever you're doing, keep doing it because you're smiling so much more. And I was like, thank you. I was like, is that bad?
I know.
Was that miserable? I did say to myself, because it's just like things that, throughout life, things are thrown at you, and sometimes you get bombarded and overloaded and you just don't know which way to go. So the products have been amazing for me. The family that I have gained from the company has been amazing. And financially, it's been a blessing. I can help gas, groceries. I help pay. I pay for Christmas. That sense of, doing something, helping a purpose. Being able to help my husband, and it has truly been a blessing and a game changer for me. So, but yeah, and I share family, drops, all of the things. So if I'm at football, basketball, baseball, cheerleading, gymnastics, like wherever I am, I try to share, because you don't know who these products may help, what people are going through, what they're looking for. You just have to be open. I don't want to keep something that God blessed me with, because what I have can bless someone else. So, and that's what I think. Every time I might get a little nervous, talking to them about it, but I'm like, you know what? So what? They can talk to me again after this, or they don't have to talk to me again. Right. I really don't care. So, but yeah, that's where I am right now. So.
I do want to say, wherever you are, I see the buttons. If you don't have a shirt on, a lot of people don't know what partner code is. So we do wear other shirts that says like Skinny Drop Team or Skinny Drop Mama. Ask me about my Skinny Drops. So try to have this on your purse, backpack, shirt, pants, whatever. Also, I even pick up my phone and just act like I'm carrying on a conversation in store. I do. Like I'm shopping and I would just pick up my phone and I would just be like, oh yeah, I have a box. Oh my God, you've lost 50 pounds. And these ladies, they have these ladies will look around the corner and they're like, so then that's a good conversation starter. Gas station. Okay, so we were in Dothan. We came back from
A meeting.
Mandy's meeting in Dothan. And I was getting gas and Ursula was over there and I rolled down my window and I was like, Ursula, what's this just for a minute? And I was pumping gas and there was a lady on the other side. She was pumping and I was like, oh my God, that skinny drop party was so amazing. Can you believe all these ladies and men? I mean, they have lost so much weight. I was like, Ursula, come here, let me see your britches again. Come here, come out, get out. And so I was like, your pants are falling off of you. And that lady was like, what? She quickly stopped pumping gas and come around. So I mean, just make up conversation. I will grab my phone everywhere I go and be like, oh my gosh, yeah, I do. And if you say skinny drops, even at the bank, if you are at, doing whatever with your teller, if you say something about skinny drops, I do not care. Somebody's going to turn around and say, what? Wait, can you tell me a little bit about that? Try, I'm telling you, and then post about it. So we took a picture in the parking lot at the gas station with that lady. Yeah, and she signed up. So, whatever, it works. It works. So, just talk about it.
Thank you, ladies. Thank you, ladies. Now we're gonna have Misty and Jennifer come up and talk about fishing and other.
I'm first. Kimberly's going to back up.
Oh, she's coming up next.
Misty, I'm sure you're free.
So Misty does a really good job of talking about how you can fish in other people's ponds and using other people's friends list.
Slang.
Say what?
I said that's that Holmes County slang.
Oh.
Fishing in somebody else's pond.
Trespassing.
Infiltrating.
I didn't see a sign.
Who's to make friends? Who's to make friends?
Trespassing from now on.
The title of it is actually enlarging your territory on Facebook. So we're talking about basically getting new friends, how to expand your reach, how to get out of your pond, basically. That's kind of where it started. But the title of this actual slideshow became from the prayer of Jabez. If you've ever read it, the prayer goes, enlarge my territory. So that's kind of where that came from. So profile tips, first of all, your profile picture needs to be just you. It doesn't need to be you and your friend, because if it's you and your best friend, if Krista and Stephanie put a picture of themselves up as their profile picture, no one's going to know which is which. You want people to know who they're dealing with when they are looking for you. Okay, so make sure your profile picture is just you. You want to make sure it's like a close up of your face, so you can see who you are. And a good example of that is a lot of you in this room and in every room I've ever been in since I started Partner Co. I had never met, but people would walk up to me and say, "Oh my gosh, Steve." They knew me because of my profile picture or because of the Zooms that we would do. So make sure that it's a good picture of you, because people are coming there to see who you are and what you're about, but you want them to be able to recognize you as well. So make sure that that's just you. And then, like Krista said, make sure you keep that same picture over all platforms, including your payment apps. Because if someone goes and sees you on your Facebook page and then you send a Venmo, Venmo always wants you to verify. They can skip that if they know it's you. Oh, that's the same picture, so I know that's her. So that's just another kind of a pro tip. Now on Facebook, they have an option now where you can pin a post. And a lot of people are like, I don't really understand what that is. But a pin post is a really good way to basically, it's kind of like your bio. Your bio just tells a little bit about who you are. A pin post it can be like your before and after picture. It can be like a color block that just says kind of what you're doing. Like for me, for instance, it could say, tried everything to lose weight and nothing worked, finally found a product that did. Something simple like that. Because what's going to happen on that pin post is if you are commenting, and I'm going to tell you some ways to like talk to other people and stuff. If you're doing the things that I'm going to tell you to do, these people are going to have not seen you before. They're not sure who you are. So they're going to click on your profile and they're going to go to your profile. And the first thing they're going to see is your picture. They're going to scroll down, and the next thing they're going to see is not the last thing that you post. They're going to see your pinned post. So they're gonna be like, oh, Sheila, I need to lose weight, or I need to balance my hormones, or I need to make some extra money. Whatever that post is, they're gonna see that. And if you comment on that post every day, you're also putting it back in front of people's faces again. So everyone that's ever liked it or ever commented on it, they're gonna see it again. Okay, so that pin post is a really good thing to do. But once you get energy on it, you've got a lot of comments and stuff, don't remove it and pin another one, because if you remove it, you lose it. You can never pin that post again. So if you get one that's got a lot of energy, that's a really big, and all of the top leaders in Partner Co, I actually learned that from them. They're doing this, and it's a really good way to help, get people on you, eyes on you. No, you only can pin one. And like I said, if you ever unpin it and pin something else, it's gone. The post will still be in your feed, but you can never put it at the top. So you want to make sure if you're going to change it, you want to make sure you thought it through really well before you do that. So, all right. And then, so your profile post should always be set to public. You can always adjust this. Like if you want to put pictures of your grandkids or your kids up there and you don't want everyone to see it, you can always change that setting per post, but you want your profile to be public because you want people on and off Facebook can find you. If someone goes and does hashtag skinny drops and you're not public, they're not going to find you if you hashtag skinny. But if you're public, they're going to be able to find you. So you definitely want that to be public. And then your bio can also be updated to share what you do. It's too much to switch everything around, but my bio, I just changed it to be something a little bit more simple. I'm a 40-plus-year-old grandma helping moms, balance their hormones. Follow me or something simple like that. I used to have it said something about being a mom and a grandma and all the things. And that's a good thing. But people know that. If they follow me, they're going to know that. I don't have to put that in my bio. I am trying to attract people to me and to my business. Knowing that I'm a family person, that they'll find that out if they keep following me. So you want to make sure if this is for your business and that's what you're going to use it for, you want to make sure that you gear all of your things towards that. So a digital creator or professional mode, that's going to give you farther reach. That's also going to allow you to schedule posts. You don't have to go through the whole verified process and have a little check mark. I do that and I pay per month. You do not have to do that. You can do digital creator, professional mode. That's all still free. And then also, it's called social media for a reason. They want us to socialize. So the things that I'm going to tell you next are going to be some things to kind of help you socialize and to get you in that habit. But they want us to do that, and they're going to reward you for socializing by pushing your posts up to more people. So the first thing is train the algorithm. And it sounds like we're doing something shady because we're going to teach the Facebook algorithm how to show our stuff to more people. Okay. And this is some of the ways that you do it. So the power of 10, or the engagement sandwich is what people call it. We're going to engage with people. So before you make your post, if it's a post that you really want to get a lot of eyes on, okay, say you're going to share your testimony, okay, you want to make sure, and you want to try to do this once a day. People are always like, do I have to do it every day? How many times a day? At least once a day, you want to do this. Because remember, social media, we're trying to build a business. We want more eyes on us, so we need to try to do this. So I call it like a focused scroll. So instead of mindlessly scrolling through Facebook and looking and seeing what, Tom down the road's up to and what Mary's been doing and how their kids are doing, let's do a focused scroll. Let's scroll through here and let's find people that are not necessarily customers yet, that you really want to get their eyes on your stuff. And we're going to go to them and we're going to find what they've posted on recently, and we're going to love it. Okay, we're going to don't like it. That's not enough. We want to give them a little bit more than just a like. We want to go to hit the heart button. And then we want to go and make a comment. Not, wow, congratulations. Be a real person. It's social media. Socialize with that person. Have a conversation with them. Oh my gosh, she looks so good in her dress, or that dress is so beautiful. Where did you get it? Asking a question is going to prompt them to answer it. So you're going to have a conversation back and forth. The more you engage with people, the more Facebook is going to show you their stuff. But the more importantly, the more Facebook's going to show them your stuff. So you want to do this before you make a post. You want to find 10 people that are not Partner Co and that are preferably not customers, that if they're like just prospects or whatever, find 10 people, find their post, love it, and give a good, genuine comment. Always be real. This is like the most important thing. You are real people, be real people. We are changing people's lives with what we're doing. we want to love on them. We want to let them see that we're, you know, that we're trying to be involved in their lives. So 10 people, and then go to the stories. Now you know about a story, and I'm going to talk a little bit more about that in a minute. That story, people choose to look at your story, right? So go through there and choose who you want to look at their story, and go scroll through it and make a comment, a legitimate, real comment. What that's going to do is that's going to take you directly into Messenger. When you're Messenger with somebody, Facebook's like, oh, they're more than just like acquaintances. They're actually friends because they're having a conversation in Messenger. Okay. So again, you're going to boost them up in your algorithm and you up in their algorithm as y'all having a conversation. When you can, ask a question again, because that's going to require a response. So that's another thing. So 10 people in the scroll and then 10 people on the stories. Then after you've done that, you've already got that algorithm working for you. Then go make your post. All right. If you're in a boost group, get in the boost group, share your post, let them start putting comments on it. But what's going to happen is all those people that you have just communicated with, they're going to start seeing your posts when they get on Facebook. They're going to get a notification. Oh, there's also a pro tip. Use the @ symbol when you're commenting and put their name in there. So that's definitely going to guarantee they're going to get a notification. Oh, so-and-so, you know, Misty mentioned you in your post. So they're going to get that notification if you put that @ symbol, put their name. You don't have to do that, but that's just kind of a pro tip. But so do that, make your post, and then after you've made your post, go back and do it all over again with 10 new people, 10 new stories, do it all over again. That's why we call it an engagement sandwich. You've got the 10 at the beginning of your post and then do 10 again. And this right here, I've been doing this for a few weeks now, and it has drastically changed. I am seeing people's posts now that I have not seen in years. And people are commenting that I have not seen comment in years. This works. I've seen it in action. So another thing, anytime anyone comments on your post, even if it's partner code, anytime someone comments, love the comment. I don't ever use the like button. Like I like the like button. It's like an insult. It's like thumbs up. Okay. You know, so I'm always going to love it. I'm going to wow it. I'm going to put the little huggy heart, you know, the little care one or whatever, but always do a little bit more than like, but then make a comment back to them. Because what that does is the more comments that are on your post, the faster it goes up in that algorithm. Okay. The next thing, birthday messages. Some people say do them, some people say don't do them. What's going to happen? What I do with birthday messages is I do it the day before. Facebook will tell you the day before. And the reason I do that is because I want to be the first person in their inbox to wish them happy birthday, because they're going to remember, Misty, this is a happy birthday to me before anybody else did, right? So go in there and do that the day before. I always ask a question. Hey girl, hope you have the best birthday ever. You got anything planned? Like what you going to do? And then some people like just laundry and house cleaning. And I'm like, oh my, that bum. So we go back and forth and I do it in Messenger too. I don't do it on their page. I do it in Messenger. So we're on a conversation back and forth in Messenger. And sometimes that conversation will last, you know, we'll go back and forth several times because I wish them happy birthday. So, and now they're going to start seeing my stuff. I've been a real person. I've actually shown genuine care and all that. So, something I was watching a training yesterday, and one of the things she said that stood out is connection and conversation equals conversion. If you connect with people and you have a conversation with people, they're going to want to be part of what you're doing. So we want to make sure that we're doing that and we're being the real people. Another thing is engagement posts. These are just some of the ones that I've done. The one that I'm hiring I'm going to take this one a step farther, and y'all feel free to duplicate this, but someone else did a post and actually posted their own picture up there and said that they were hired instead of take a selfie. All the selfies I'm getting are hilarious. I love it. So much fun. And I go back and I comment on every single one of them. I comment back. So if you look, there's 141 comments and it's still rising. I haven't checked it this morning. This was yesterday. But so what I'm going to do for this one specifically, because it does say I'm hiring, is I'm going to go back and message all of them and say, hey, I really am hiring. If you want to join this, you know what I mean? Just some little something just to kind of see if they're actually looking for a side hustle. So that's something I'm going to do, and I'll let you guys know how it works. But I pulled back some other ones that had a lot of engagement. Who uses email. I had a conversation with my daughter one day, and she's like, Mom, nobody uses email. So apparently 154 people do, because everybody said they do use email. So the comments, but lie about how we met. That one was fun. People just make up crazy things about how we met. Anything to get engagement and conversation happening on your feed. And sometimes I will see people like on the how many pictures are on your phone one. I'll see people I haven't seen in years or have posted on that one. And I'm like, whoa, where did you come from? Like, I didn't even know we're friends still. Like, it's just crazy. This algorithm thing is really helping get people their eyes on my stuff. So, and then the predictive text one, that's always fun. You can, you know, someone else said, take every vowel in your name and put oob after it. So mine would be like moopsty. And she's like, I'm dying laughing at everyone. It's silly. It's ridiculous. Okay. But it's funny and it gets people commenting on your stuff. And that's what we want people to do. We want them to see it and we want them to make a comment. You want to get engagement. That is the most important thing, is getting engagement. So anything, whether it's call to action, whether it's a curiosity post, whether it's, you know, I even did one time, it's really controversial about the, you know, MLMs, like, what do you think about network marketing, positive or negative? And there was a lot of stuff on that one, but it's engagement. Those people that are negative about partner or about network marketing, guess what? They see my stuff. They're seeing me win. You know what I mean? So it doesn't matter if you have something negative to say, you're still seeing it. You're still watching me. So. Now the fishing in new ponds is basically host to post, and that is actually in your boards app. If you have the boards app, host to post is in there. That's basically it's a referral post. You ask your friends to do a referral. And I was, again, I've got a lot of trainings that I watch. I was going back through some of the notes that I had taken. And one thing she said was, you can build an entire business strictly off referral posts, asking your friends to make a post for you. And so I'm like, I'm going to go back to all of my past customers, and I'm just going to see if they'll make a post for me. And I'm going to come up with something, either my result or somebody else's, and just say, hey, will you make this for me? Just say you're making it for a friend. I'm trying to help a friend out. A lot of the people that are on your feed they're going to support you. They want to support you, whether they're going to be a part of it or not. And what's going to happen is, if I ask Mary to do a post for me, I have 3,500 friends on Facebook. So that's as many as I'm going to reach. But if Mary does it and she's got 4,000 friends on her Facebook and we only have 60 mutual, I got 3,000 more sets of eyes on my stuff, right? Because she's going to tag me in it. So I'm good there. So that's more people that see my stuff. So referral posts, post to post, that's a great way to fish. That's why I say fish in somebody else's pond, because like if I only have catfish in my pond, but I want brim tonight, I'm going to go over here and fish in Todd's pond because he's got some brim over there, right? So that's kind of what it is. We want to get in other people's networks as well. And then anybody, if I ever do a referral post, anyone that likes it, loves it, whatever, anybody that does any kind of engagement on it, I'm going to go message them. I'm going to thank them for the engagement. You know, sometimes people look at this post and they just like it and they don't really want to ask, but I just want to let you know, if you want any more information on these drops or whatever it is, then just let me know. I'm here for you. And then some ways to add new friends. So we can get 5,000 friends with Facebook, but that's it. Like, the cap's out at 5,000, but you can get as many followers. I have a lot of people that are following me that aren't actually on my friends list, but you can go out and seek and find more friends. You want to try to add about 10 to 15 a day, but don't do more than 15 a day, because you will go to Facebook jail. That is a real place. I have been there before. So then basically what that means is you can't comment on anything. You can't send any messages or anything for like 24 hours. They slap you on the wrist pretty much, but it puts a damper on your business. So don't go too far. But if you'll send friend requests, you can do like friends of friends. And what that means is, like, if I have friends, like, I can look at their posts, and if someone posts anything, if I see someone that's posted something about wanting a job or anything like that, I'm going to go to everybody that's commented on that. I'm going to send them a friend request, because I'm going to go engage with them, because I want them to see my stuff. So that's another thing that's really good. Facebook groups, you can join Facebook groups. There's a Facebook group for just about anything you can think of. I mean, something you're interested in, like Travis, for instance, a firefighter, you could go to firefighters' Facebook groups and find them. And then you just go become a part of it and engage with people. And that's a good way to find new friends that you would have never found otherwise. You go in there and start engaging with them on the posts that are being made. And then, because y'all are talking to each other, go into thing and send them a friend request. And they can refuse the friend request. They don't have to accept it, but you've taken that first step into becoming a friend with them. Find things in common with them and do that. And then, of course, Facebook suggests friends with you, or friends like for you. They make suggestions or whatever. A lot of those are going to be partner code people, especially if you start engaging with a lot of partner code people. But if you'll go hit see more, it'll start showing you some people, some other people, especially when you start adding new friends. Facebook will start suggesting friends that are friends with them. You may not know them, but I'm like, if they're not a troll, I'm going to send them a friend request because I want as many people on watching my stuff as possible. So, and then if someone accepts it, this is a new thing I just noticed. If you'll notice when you get a new friend, Messenger will say your new Facebook friend and they'll pop them into your Messenger. Hey, thanks for accepting my friend request. What do you do? What do you do for a living? Or, just start making conversation with them because now they're your new friend, but they're also going to start seeing your posts. So, yeah, and just remember, this is social media. Be social, be real, always be real. And then stories. So when you're looking at your stories, when you're, looking at the scroller, your stories are up there, but you don't have to look at them if you don't want to. Well, you'll scroll by sometimes and it's like, oh, I want to see what's going on in her life. Robin has been posting the most ridiculous stories with her pretending like she's a country smoking cigarettes. Y'all, let me tell y'all something. It's stupid. But I click on it every stinking time because I want to see what ridiculousness she's coming up with. Now, she did one with an old trailer in the background and said, y'all, it's Sam, I'm just fucking on the stick. And so, y'all, I'm serious. It is hilarious. But that's how Robin has a massive business is because she does stupid stuff like that. I don't care what nobody thinks. But I clicked on that. I chose to do that. You can choose to keep scrolling or you can choose to watch her story. Same thing with us. We get them watching our story. That's what we want, right? So if they see something ridiculous, they're going to tap back to the next. Well, what's the next thing she's doing? Oh, what's the skinny drop? I don't know the skinny drop. You know what I'm saying? So if you got to be stupid, I don't suggest being whatever. But anyway, you want them to choose you because they chose to, you get to pick who you're going to watch, right? And so you want them to choose you. You can use polls on your story. It's got the poll option. So you can do that. That's a good thing to do engagements. There's this thing called this or that. I don't know if you've ever seen people in network marketing do it a lot. Like, what's your favorite, tacos or hamburgers? And you can make the poll option be anything. It doesn't have to be yes or no. And if I'm asking a question like, do your hormones need balanced? I don't say yes or no. I say absolutely or maybe. Like, it's always a yes answer. Like, they're always going to answer yes. It just may not be yes and yes. It's going to be yes and something else that means yes. So, but asking questions, anything you can do to get people to engage with you. Because on the stories, when they engage with you, that's a little bit step farther than just engaging with you on your posts. Because now Facebook even more sees that you guys are even more than just acquaintances. You're actually having a conversation in Messenger. So. All right. That's it. And my pro tip is basically always just be real and genuine. And yeah.
Right, Missy. So the next lady, this is actually, one of the only the second time in person, I believe I got to meet her. She actually came to the Panama City event earlier this year. And she's out there in this state all by herself. She got started with Michelle McKay. A lot of y'all know her. She's a CEO in our company. But one thing me and Todd are very drawn into about Michelle McKay and her organization is the duplication. It is the duplication and her being able to do everything. The duplication of her team being able to do everything when she's not there. And so this lady, I've been watching. She's in Michigan. And she has a growing business. If I'm not mistaken, sold close to 300 boxes of drops. She's converted 30 or 40 of those. Working. 30 or 40 of her people are working the system of growth. And so I asked her, I said, hey, how did you convert these people? You know what, better yet, how about you come train our whole teams down here in Florida? What are you doing to convert your people from drop customers to work in a business? And it is Kimberly.
I'm Kimberly from Michigan. Kimberly Brecka. When you look at my Facebook, my social media, you'll go, how in the world do you pronounce that name? That's how you do it. Before I start on conversion, here's 2 fun facts about me. Number 1, I started this business January 22nd. Number 2, remember that date, because what's today? June 22nd, right? I'm a middle school math teacher. And my last day was June 5th. I'm done. This is what I'm gonna do full time. Because my first month, I made more in 1 month than I do it in a month teaching. So I decided, I told my husband, this is it, this is what I'm doing, and here I am. And I want you to look around the room really quick. These are the people that are going to be successful. And you know why? Because you're here. It is a beautiful Saturday, and you're here. You're learning, you're preaching, you're absorbing, you're working your business. You are going to be very successful at this. Conversion. Here's one of the ways. There are two ways to look at conversions. Your first is to look for those people that you think will work the business. However, you don't know what people's circumstances are going to be. A year ago, I didn't know that I guess it was 3 years ago, I didn't know that our 4-month-old puppy would require $8,000 worth of vet bills. We can cover it, but my husband's a teacher, I'm a teacher. We're not rich. To come up with that kind of money, we had to sacrifice other things. So you don't know what somebody's circumstances will be. Daycare in the state of Michigan for 3 children, $32,000 a year. Who can afford that, right? So you have droppers. If you're doing this correctly and you're keeping it really simple, you should be able to convert about 75 to 80% to being a brand partner. That doesn't mean they're working. That means they're a brand partner. And this is how we do it. We look at it like a membership because you don't know what their future holds. So you are selling a drop. And by the way, ladies, fantastic job up here just a second ago. Oh my gosh, I learned so much. So I am selling a box of drops to Krista, right? The first thing I'm going to do is open my phone and I'm going to say, Siri, follow up with Krista in 2 weeks. And I'll probably check in with her before that. But in 2 weeks, I'm going to call her and I'm going to say, Krista, tell me the good news. Tell me the great thing you're feeling about the drops. Did I say, how's it going? No, I'm going to put positive in her mind so she gives me positive back, right? No matter what she says, as long as it's positive, of course, I'm either going to help her to get to positive because maybe she hasn't lost 27 pounds in 3 days. Maybe she hasn't got rid of her night sweats yet, right? Because that's what some people are expecting. And maybe it's been 2 weeks and she still has hot flashes. You're going to give her some tips and some tricks and follow up, okay? The ones who give you one little bit of good information, you're going to have we call them a 2x2. You could call it a 3-way call. You're going to have your friend. Linda, I've talked to Linda before. Stephanie, we've talked before. You have someone on standby. And it might be your best friend. It might be somebody above you. It doesn't have to be an expert, but just someone who can give some really good feedback. And by good feedback, I just mean, hey, that's it. So you have the person on the phone. You get one piece of information and you say, hold on, Krista. You don't tell her why. Don't tell her why. Just say, hold on. And then you bring your third party person on the phone and you say, Krista, you get back. Krista, this is my friend, Michelle. And I am so excited to share with Michelle that you lost 3 pounds this week. And my third party person, Michelle, is going to say, oh my gosh, that's amazing. 3 pounds in a week. When was the last time that ever happened? She's going to give some response. The only other thing that Michelle's going to say is, listen, I got to get off. I'm in the grocery store, wherever. Make sure you ask Kimberly about the membership so you can get a discount on your product. The end. And then She's off the phone, it's just the two of you, and you say, listen, you can buy drops from me all day long, $150 out the door, you're good. But I can show you either how to get them 30% off free. Can I share more with you? And most of us want a discount. Let's be real. Nobody wants to pay full price. So say, hold on and send them that slide deck from boards and say, let me show you this. Bring this up on your text. So they bring it up on their phone. You show it to them. You go through it real quick, just real quick. Show them all of the before and afters, all of the wins. And then it gets to that one where you can buy 3 and get 1 free. You mean to tell me for $71 more, I can get 4 boxes instead of 2? Or you don't say anything about the business. Use the word membership. Save the business for later. Use the membership. So, as Anthony said, I have 30 to 40 working brand partners, but at the beginning, I was not very good I didn't know anything about conversion. Let's be real. When you start really fast, you don't know. But from maybe month 2.5, 3 on, I would say my conversion rate's about 80%. And you can duplicate it so easily, can't you, Lisa Williamson, on my team, who is converting. Yeah, very good. And that's it. Send them your enrollment link, get them signed up, encourage the 4-pack if they have, don't forget to ask them, what's your goal? Are you having night sweats? Are you having hot flashes? Are you trying to just get rid of 5 pounds? Or like most of us, you have 30, 40, 50 to lose. This is going to be a long time thing. Let's get you that 4-pack, get you at the biggest discount you can get it, and go forward. Then when things come into play that maybe they might need a business, you're there for them. That's it. That's the conversion.
So glad you came down. So glad this whole team came down. This is awesome to have you guys. We got people from everywhere. So awesome. Next up, we got Anthony. Everybody, if you've only been in Partner Co for a week, you know who Anthony is. Anthony does so much for all of us, no matter whether you're on his team or you're not. He blurs a lot of sponsorship. Almost everything you see as far as YouTubes and Zooms, Anthony's behind it. Graphics, he just does so much for us. And Todd told me when I started this business last year about this time, Todd came and sat down, and one of the things he said was, your friends are going to change. The friends you have now, they're just not going to understand the mindset you have. And I was like, yeah, well, okay, whatever. And to be honest, within a couple of months, my best friends are in this company. My family's in this company. And Anthony is somebody I consider a brother. Travis, Jason, we just have all had so much fun together, and I'm just so glad. But Anthony's going to talk to you about mindset, and I can't think of anybody better to talk about it.
Hey everybody, I'm back. So I'm emceeing. I didn't know I was going to MC a little bit, but I'm helping out Samantha as well. So they asked me to talk about mindset, and I put this picture up there because the mind is powerful. I learned, because I started this at 21 years old. And like Reese just mentioned, my friends didn't have the same mindset that I had. Some of them didn't struggle the same way either. So, I came from a single parent home. Most of the time my mom was working 2, 3 jobs at a time, getting picked up by my grandfather after school because he just retired from the Air Force. And that was my life. And I always knew what the struggle was like. But I also started developing a mindset. I never forget when I first got started. And I remember I got into this BMW with one of the guys who got me started. And he had this convenience package on his BMW. And it shuts the door on its own. So you don't shut the door. If you do, it's like you're slamming. And he was like, hey. I was like, but I really want this to happen. I want it to happen so bad. I want it to happen like yesterday. I want it right now. Like a lot of us, we want the money to come in the bank account. But he's like, hey, you need to learn to build your mind up, because then you'll start to attract the people that you are looking for. And I was like, yeah, right. But he's like, hey, here's a book and here's a CD I want you to listen to. He gave me Jim Rohn, The Magic of Part-Time. You can find it on YouTube. It's a YouTube he told me to listen to. And I listen to it every day. I can promise you I've listened to it thousands of times. Even Todd has. So me and Todd be driving down the road and I turn on Jim Rohn. Or I'll read books like GoPro and I read all these things. And I started developing my mind. Next thing you know, I started attracting some of those leaders that I wanted to attract because I got better. So if you want to get better, you want to attract those. That's why I watched Reese and Ashley over the last few months, how they're starting to attract more. But one of the things that we got on the IPA call early one day, and I was listening to something, and Reese said, "What is that you're listening to?" And I said, "Where's Jim Rohn?" He's like, "Well, that's feed." I was like, "Yeah, I feed my brain every day, at least 30 minutes." And he said, "Well, I want to start listening." Then next thing you know, he got a couple named Chris and Joni from Canada start coming to his team because he got better. And when he got better, he started attracting it. So if you want better, you got to become better. And it all starts with the mind, everybody, because I watch a lot of people. And, you got a lot of people that are on the left, and you got some people that are on the right. Majority of the people that you come across are going to be on the right to start off with. They're going to look at themselves, everything is just negative. Well, I can't get nobody to buy no jobs. I've been posting at 9 a.m. and 3 p.m. How many people have told you that? Has anybody here ever had anybody that they signed up and they said, well, I've been posting, but ain't nobody buying? We all have it. But the thing is, it's your job to become better. See, I learned this also a long time ago. I watch a lot of y'all do it, so I'm not going to point anybody out. I'm never going to do that. But what I'm going to tell you to stop doing is stop complaining down and always complain up. You never know. Samantha never knows. Melissa Jackson and Andrew Jackson never know when I have a bad day. The only person who knows is probably Todd, because he's positive enough to pick me back up and push me forward and help me out. And see, nobody ever knows. You never complain to your team. Never. It's always going to get better. I watched Kim Gray do it. Kim Gray, I watched her 5 years now. I've been watching. So when Todd says he's seen it, I've seen it too. I watched them grow. But I watched Kim. Every time you hear, it's never, I rode in the car with her. I don't know if you ever rode in the car with Kim here. Listen, she always, okay, we're going to figure it out. We're going to figure it out. And then she'll call Todd. Todd, we got to figure this out. We got to figure this out. But that's her incline. See, she didn't call Reese and say, Reese, we got to figure this out. No, it's always, okay, we're going to figure it out. Just let me make a couple of calls. See, you never complain down. So that's how you stay on a winning mindset, because your people that come in, you got to treat them like babies. They only know what you teach them. So if you start complaining to them, and then you wonder why they don't call you back. Well, because you're always complaining. Nobody wants to call anybody that's complaining. So these are a couple of tips that I have that would always help me stay in a positive mindset. So one of the first things I do every single day, I'm staying at Samantha and David's house, and they'll tell you every morning, I'm waking up, praying, doing things, asking, just thanking God for what I'm grateful for. So what are you grateful for? If you woke up, you should be grateful for that. If you had somewhere to sleep, you should be grateful for that. If your kids woke up this morning, you should be grateful for that. If your parents woke up this morning, you should be grateful. It's a lot of things you can be grateful for. The question is, are you at least grateful for what you have? I also read in the book one time, it said, if you be faithful with the little things, when you be faithful with the little things, then you'll be made rule over much. So a lot of y'all want these big businesses, but you're not even grateful for what you have. So that would be number one. So what are you grateful for? And then what are you feeding your brain on a daily basis? What are you feeding your brain? That's the true question. What are you feeding your brain on a daily basis? You heard me, at least 30 minutes a day, you need to be feeding yourself with something. So that could be reading a book. People say, well, I don't like to read. Me either. You can ask anybody I grew up with, I never read any book. I was just one of those people, I could just kind of pay attention in class, take good notes, and kind of read over my notes, and then I passed. I don't know how, but it just worked. It worked for me. I've never read a book from start to finish since growing up. But then I got into this industry, and they said, if you want to get better, you have to develop the mind. You got to start reading books. Matter of fact, get this stat. If you read 5 books in any, whatever it is, whether it's real estate, network marketing, leadership, do you know you are in the 95? You're in the 5% club, because 95% of the people haven't even read a network marketing book, but you say you want to make this happen. So I've read 5 books in network marketing because I wanted to be better in network marketing. I've also read 5 books in leadership because I wanted to be a better leader. So those are the type of things that you want to do. So these are some examples. The Richest Man in Babylon, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, Think and Grow Rich. This is a great one. Todd actually recommended this one, but it was Darren Kidd, I Will Until, because there's always a lot of people in this industry that say they've done something, but they never done anything. Where Darren Kidd is one of those people who have done it. But there's some others. There's some other good ones out there, and I got lots of them. Samantha and them always looking at me like, you got books? And I was like, yeah, I got books. So I got lots of books. And then, there's a lot of, also, your car should be like a library. I love music. I love having fun and all of that, but guess what? There's only so much music I'm going to listen to. I start turning on audiobooks. I start turning on, if you got an iPhone, not the alien phone, but I don't know how the alien phone works. But if you have an iPhone, they have an app called Podcast, and you can just download, you can listen to all kinds of podcasts, like Jessie Lee, or R.I.P. to Jessie Lee. Anybody who doesn't know her, to be honest, social media, she was one of the best at building a network marketing. She was one of the best. She actually, hey, numbers don't lie. She actually did everything she talked about. She literally made over $1 million a month selling online. So if you go and look, but she has several podcasts that still come out weekly because she's developed all of them. You can also, again, I encourage everybody to go listen to Jim Rohn. The Magic of Part-Time. Sometimes I also put it on my YouTube already, so it's on there as well. I get it to everybody, but I've already downloaded that and put it on there. But listen to it every single day. You can also listen to the Zoom recordings. One of the things I love about Partner Code, what I love about Partner Code, is the leadership we attract. Some of y'all heard Greg and Lanika Scott. I don't know if y'all heard the Zoom the other day. They didn't even talk about no products. It was just straight about why Partner Code. 30 minutes straight. You got anybody who's been in network marketing, they should hear that just right there. Man, they just talk about how they've been in this industry, their story, but then James Lang interviewed them, and it was just absolutely amazing. But then also, we got people like Todd National Rowland, that have been in this industry over 20 years. We got the Brent Palmer. Man, I've been here since Brent started as well, so I watched him grow. But then you also start recruiting people and that come into this business like Michelle McKay. And what I love about Michelle McKay is she's talking the talk, but she's also walking the walk. And she's getting paid real good too. Real good. I mean, there's a lot of people who title advance. Great, congratulations. But there's not that many people who title advance and get paid at that level every week. And I'll say the last, 11 weeks, Tosh, she got paid at the level she was at. So she's CEO, she's making CEO money. She ain't making vice president money. So something she's doing is working. So why not get on the Zoom and watch the recording where she's at? You just heard her team is here and they're duplicating. She hit CEO, she was in Japan. How many of y'all would like to go across seas, don't do any presentations with your team, and triple your business in a week? So then tip number 4 is a big one. Plug in. This is what helped me. I remember 2 years ago, I was here at an event in Destin, and my grandmother died, and my grandfather died, and I lost my dad. I had lost my dad. I lost 2 of my uncles. I lost a lot of people. And I remember getting on one day, and Todd said, "Anthony, you do not have to get on." He said, "Anthony, you can actually leave and go home. We will understand." And I said, "No," because my grandma always told me, don't start nothing that you cannot finish. And you got to learn how to lead by example. As soon as you step away, what's your team going to do? Life is going to hit. You're going to have flat tires. You're going to have people pass away. I mean, Todd's dad just passed away. He's here. He could have took 2 weeks off. He's making the money. Him and his wife are making the money to step away if they needed to. But he showed up. And see, I always say success leaves clues. So, hey, go follow those type of people. And so that's what I'm saying. Like, you got to stay plugged into whatever you can. I understand you have life, you have kids, you have jobs, you have those type of things. But I also watched the new couple, Laura and Alex. Y'all heard them a little earlier. They run a big insurance company. They are very successful at what they do. But guess what? When they're not in a regular meeting for the insurance, they're plugging in on the Zoom. You see them driving down the road, listen to their appointment that they're about to go. See, success leaves clues. It's successful people, even whatever profession they're in, you will see that they just leave some kind of clue. So plug in. What are you plugging into? So it's quite a few. Number one, the IPA call. I've been doing this 12 years. Started when I was 21 years old. And I wish I had that call when I was 21. I do. Because so much knowledge is being shared. It's none of it, it's no greed, no ego on there. It's just people sharing what's working for them. So why not go on there, get some tips, utilize it. I seen Billy in here. Billy. So Billy, Dr. Lorraine are the ones who started that call with Ty Rowland. They asked, and I asked Ty one question. I was like, day 3. He's like, come on. And there was a 4 of them. So we watched that call go from 4 people to over 300 people now daily of people sharing knowledge about what's working. And your leaders will also tell you, hey, that's not IPA. IPA, well, income producing activity. So, and that's something that we'll dive into afterwards as well. But then corporate calls. You want to build your belief up? You got to get on the corporate calls. See, our job is to help all of our new people learn the skills of what's needed to start building a business, but you want to know the belief and the vision of the company, you got to get on the corporate calls. You start knowing what's happening. You get on the recognition call that they do once a month. That's where you go and recognize your team. So you also build your belief up there. And then corporate calls, I know we have Canadians watching, so I love to show love to the Canadians. But the Canadians, their call is on Wednesday at 7 p.m. Central. And our call, the U.S. call, is on Mondays at 7 p.m. Central. So you add those to your calendar, everything of that nature. Then the Saturday morning call. And then also, I know, listen, one of the things I learned in this industry, but also I learned from Todd, is that you don't have to be the best at everything. Reese, we mess with Reese because he knows how to do everything. But you don't have to know everything. You don't. You don't have to be the best inviter. You don't have to be the best presenter. You don't have to be the best anything. You don't have to be the best at everything. So what you need to learn how to do is learn your skill set. You know, one of the things I lacked in this industry was getting people started off to a fast track. I can help build the belief. I can help coach you, but getting started right. So one of the best calls I recommend you get on, Andrea Rosser is one of the best at getting people started. She's soft-spoken. She's okay. She has patience. Well, guess what? She does a call every Wednesday at 12 o'clock. You can send all your brand new people there and they will get trained up for free. For free at 12 o'clock. Hey, all you got to do is plug them in. I can get that Zoom. But then also the Saturday morning call, that's also is one of the best ones where we always pick different topics and everything to add there to talk about, whether it be social media, whether it be product, or we got a lot of different ones. So, and then so how do we was on the call getting ready for this event, and they's like, well, Ed, you're one of the best. And like reminding people, and I'm like, well, I just set an alarm. It's that simple. Set an alarm in my phone. I literally set an alarm in my phone, and I just be like, I put up my calendar. I do that. I literally got it on the calendar. Oh, the IPA call, 9:15. It's gonna let me know 30 minutes, an hour before. That's when I send out the reminders to my team. I'm like, well, it's time to send out the reminder. Me and Reese teach you another app that we use once your team starts growing that we've been utilizing for 3-4 months now, and it's literally the best of the best where you can put them in little groups of 30, 40 people and just hit the button and it sends it on this way. And and it reminds everybody. You can save them all in there. So we'll teach y'all about that afterwards. But then also remember your team members, a lot of them are new, but then some of them aren't ready to build right now. And you gotta understand and respect and be okay with that. Everybody's not gonna want to run the same thing. I ran track and my race was the 400. I did not like running the 100. I played football. I played receiver and quarterback. I was not an offensive lineman, meaning everybody is going to have a different flow of when they want to take off. So your job is just to keep them plugged in long enough until it snaps for them or the timing in their life changes and they're ready to go. And then we also got like the IPA Telegram chat that we utilize. There's a lot of different chats. There's also team groups. Everybody, I know a lot of y'all have team group chats where you can educate and inform your team of all the upcoming calls and everything of that nature. And then they asked me to talk about promoting. I learned this from Britt Palmer and several other people that I watched in the network marketing industry over the years. And promoting for events is key. I don't care if it's an in-home living room party. I don't care if it's a drop top. I don't care if it's a Super Saturday. I don't care if it's a Zoom call. You have to promote for that event. Now, let me ask you this. How many of y'all in here wish y'all would have brought at least one more person? Let me see a show of hands. Everybody would talk, man, you know what? I should have talked. That person should have brought one more. We always think about that. Well, if you remember this, that when you're promoting, I'm going to come back to that one. When you're promoting, it is a numbers game. It is. Not to call people numbers, but it's numbers. If I invite 10, I might get 1 to show up. I invite 20, I might get 2 to show up. But guess what? When you get better at inviting over time, more and more that you call and everything like that, you will get better. You know, the great Jim Rohn says, hey, there's a lot of people who say, hey, I can get 7 out of 10. Great. Well, I can get 1 out of 10. So if I call 100, I'm going to win. Wow, because I was getting 1 out of 10. At the end, I got 10, and you only got 7. See, hey, listen, you might be better at inviting than me, but you won't outwork me. You won't outwork me. So it's a numbers game. So how many people are you calling? So that's when it comes to promoting. I always recommend people pick up the phone and call them. Hey, the phone isn't going to bite you. It isn't going to shock you. It isn't going to kill you. Just pick up the phone. If you need help, call Stephanie. She's the best. She just talked to somebody at the gas station, so at the grocery store. So just have her energy. That's all it is. Put your favorite song on. Go dance. I tell Samantha before she got it, I said, go get on the little thing, flip around, get your energy up. Why? Because I know that's what makes her happy, gets her in her zone. You know, it's just the same thing. Do whatever makes you happy and then pick up the phone call. That makes you, whatever it is for me, I just listen to something positive also do me. And then use social media, create FOMO. FOMO it's a big deal. Me and Ty message each other all the time because he'll send me pictures of from an event. I'm like, FOMO. Matter of fact, he missed the last one of these because he was in a different area. And I sent the picture. He said, now he's just giving me FOMO. Because it's in his backyard when we were having a Super Saturday in his backyard. So reminders, also use reminders for your friends. So if they told you they were gonna come to a Super Saturday like this, or I know Stephanie and Ursula do a meeting up in Shipley. Well, okay, if they said they were gonna come this Monday coming up, okay, so today's Saturday, I'm calling them, say, hey, Krista, I was just saying, double checking. Are you still gonna be there on Monday? Okay, I'm gonna call back Monday morning and just double check. I'm just trying to get a head count. Just little things like that. And you'll learn all these type of tricks and tips. And if you start reading some network marketing books and send out the flyer, there's a lot of amazing tips. You just got to remind people because life happens. Today and Monday is a long time. They can wake up and their tire flat. They can wake up and the dog got out. They had to chase them around all day long. I remember Misty had to chase her dog for a long time. And I had to chase mine for a long 24 hours. I'm like, chase, so a lot of things can happen in that time. Use a third party. Man, that's the best one. I mean, you just heard Kimberly talk about a third party call, like for a validation call. How about a third party call to help you get your friend there? They don't, like, all you gotta do is pick up the phone and say, hey, I got David, I got Samantha, I invited her to this event. She said she was gonna come. Can you just call and say, hey, I know you're gonna be there as well. If I call her on three-way, will you just like help me invite her and make sure she's still coming? Sure. Bam, get on the phone, say, hey, introduce both of them. And then David's job or whoever that third party's job is literally to say, hey, Samantha, I'm going to be at that event on Saturday. I heard you were going to be there. I can't wait to shake your hand, give you a hug. I'm actually a hugger, so I just want to give you a hug and get to meet you and get to know who you really are. So you're going to be there on Saturday, right? Yeah, I am. Okay, so it's just like a balance. See, not only did they tell you, so your friends and family lie to you, but a lot of times they won't lie to their third party. And then I'm going to go back to this. Because when I say promote, how many of y'all got y'all tickets to PXP? Oh, that's almost the whole room. If you haven't got your tickets to PXP, then here you go. Then you can scan that QR code and you can get your ticket to PXP. And so PXP, we do 4 of them throughout the world every year. And our North America one is September 20th through the 22nd. And we're going to be down in Orlando. So you grab your ticket there, but you also can give it to the person who invited you or who's your upline. They may have some bulk tickets that you can buy from them for a little bit cheaper. So with that being said, now I get to introduce what? No, now I get to introduce my best friend, Todd Rowland, so he can introduce the next speaker. But Todd, for all y'all that don't know, he is the best of the best. He has the heart of gold. He always doing so much for other people. He gets no recognition. So if y'all don't mind, stand up for me and give us a hand for me. The point of these three things. Oh, there's for you. Okay. I repeat it.
Talk about PXP a little bit.
Say again?
Are you gonna talk about PXP a little bit, like for newcomers? No.
Go ahead, you do it. I'm not good at that. Tell them about it. You went last year.
I don't know, we went last year, we had a great time. If you're not there, I mean, you should be. We had parties after the parties. I mean, it was like parties, but just like we went to different houses and we had picture ops. We connected with different people. We went out to eat. We had different meetings in between the main training. But do we have schedule on it yet? Like,
yes. So it will start Friday around.
Officers.
What is it starting on Friday?
Officers start, I think, 2.
Let's just say you need to be there Thursday afternoon sometime.
okay.
And it will go through Sunday at 1 p.m. So you don't want to leave until 1 p.m. Sunday. So the event, that's the main event. But what Stephanie's saying is around that event, basically every leader in the company will have 2, 3, 4. I think I got 4 Airbnbs rented this year. I recently got several rented. So there'll be like all these little breakout leadership get-togethers. If you're a leader with a team, I highly recommend renting an Airbnb. Let your team get in there for $100 each instead of $300 a night in a hotel. Airbnbs are very inexpensive there. Like, create that leadership for your team. It'll pay you massive dividends. Misty was brand new last year, and she did that for her team without even having a business yet, and allowed a lot of people to get there that otherwise wouldn't have been able to get there. Reese had been in the company like 90 days, rented an Airbnb last year, got his team in there, and it was really, really helpful. Okay, I just want to mention 2 things that have to be said, and then we'll bring Jennifer. I thought I was going to introduce. Sorry for the message. Of course, Samantha. But a lot of times, you know, Jim Rohn has a statement, and he says, the same wind blows us on us all, but the good news is we get to set our own sail. And a lot of people live in a pity party thinking their life is different than everybody else's. I know because I deal with tens and tens of thousands of people, and I hear what everybody says. And what everybody doesn't know is everybody's the same. Worldwide, actually, globally. Most mind-boggling thing to me is how unique we all are, identical. We all deal with lots of issues all the time. And there's been zero doubt in my mind for a long time that Anthony would be a multi-millionaire in network marketing. So I watch him handle things. I watch deaths in his family. I mean, he has no parents. He has no grandparents anymore. He takes care of a blind brother. And everybody thinks his life is rosy. It's not. He was making really good money in network marketing, and his company merged in, and he lost his upline and his downline. His paychecks dropped like several thousand per month on that merger. Then he got a Finally took off again, had a big business going in Nigeria, and Nigeria shut down for 4 months. And his paychecks went plummeting down again. But nobody knows that but me. Okay, but I will tell you, I also know what's going on right now. And his business is skyrocketing again. Why? Because his business is always going to be a reflection of you. Always. It's going to find you. If you're not right mentally, your business is going to come back and find you. If you are right mentally and your business is not there, it's going to come find you up there. So the good news is you get to control that. It's the only industry in the world that you get to control. Everything else is dictated to you in your job, in your small business, all those kinds of things. You develop a millionaire mindset, you'll be a millionaire in this business. You can take that for what it's worth. The negative people won't hear that. You'll come up with your own excuses. Michelle McKay, I want to mention this. Michelle McKay had been in the company about 90 days. And Stephanie, who's also from Oxford, Mississippi, I had to do a meeting in Oxford that day. I didn't even know Michelle. I knew Cynthia. And Cynthia knew I was passing through town. And Cynthia called me, but I was in a meeting. I didn't call her back yet. I was going to call her back after I finished up a couple of things. But I went by the hotel where I was staying at. And Michelle McKay was waiting in the lobby. I told Cynthia where I was staying. And Michelle McKay was waiting in the lobby and came up and approached me and said, "Hey, I'm Michelle McKay. I'm the one that signed up with Cynthia. I just wanted to meet you. I was waiting in the lobby for you to come back by." And I said, "I've got to go do one more meeting," but I said, "I will make time. So if you come over here to the lobby, just meet." I said, "Let's go eat dinner tonight." So she invited Stephanie, went and ate dinner. And when I got done eating dinner with her an hour later, I called Brent. I said, "She's the best person in your business, Brent. She's going to be a multimillionaire here." It's zeroed down in my mind. Why did I know that? This is before anybody knew her name. I said, she was all positive. Like everything about that meeting. The only thing I didn't know is if she would go really to work or not. But I knew if she did go to work, that she could immediately become a top 10 earner in the company. Because with a positive mindset, you separate yourself from 95% of the people in the world. And guess what? It's your choice. Like it's dictated by you. Nobody gives you attitude except for you. Anyway, that was one of the best trainings I've ever seen. That was unbelievable. Okay. And perfect segue, because I didn't know I was going to get to interview Jennifer, but I've watched Jennifer's mindset grow. And I didn't really know her, so I don't know what she's like before, but I knew when I first came around her, kind of shy, timid, didn't say a lot. But now I'm watching her, she's if I'm at a meeting within an hour and a half radius of her house, she's there every time. That's the first time I'm always looking for. People show up, because most people don't show up. Again, 95% of people just by actually showing up. And then the second thing is, every time she comes, she got guests with her now. Then she starts signing them up. Well, then Friday night in Panama City last week, when she showed up with a guest, about an hour from where she lives, I watched her sign her up with a 10-pack, but then she goes, "So when are we doing your launch party?" And she's looking at me too, like, "How many can you be there?" I'm like, "You need me to be at your launch party?" I said, "I wasn't going to say no in front of her." My schedule's pretty full, but I was like, "Me too." So I looked and I had one thing on July 4th and I gave it to him. And that lady said, "I can't do that." But she said, "What about July 4th? Look at both of us after July 4th. And I said, "Well, after July 4th, I actually don't have anything in my calendar that next week." She looked back at the lady and said, "What day you want?" And she set the launch party. And some people never set a launch party. She set it with a new sign up with a lady and her husband had just died like 2 months ago. I'm sitting there thinking, how is this lady even here tonight? It was the most unbelievable thing. Anyway, that being said, "Oh, you're here." Come on. You get the interview.
You asked me a year ago, like I would not be up here. You could. This is Marty. She just joined the business with a 10-pack. And her launch party is July 9th, 6 o'clock at Sunny's in Lynn Haven. So be there. But ask me a year ago and I would not get up here. I have the worst social anxiety period. My arms would go numb, I'd be saying a lot. But these products and this company is giving me my confidence back. I was at a point, have my nursing license. I went to school to be a nurse, never used it.
Why? Because I was always taking care of somebody else at home. I needed to fit my kids' schedule. I would not be there for them. My dad passed away, was sick for a while. He passed away with cirrhosis of the liver, not because he was an alcoholic, but because he was on so many prescription drugs. Right after that, my mom had 2 strokes and I became her full-time caregiver. And inside, I was almost 100, I was over 170 pounds, close to 180. And I was just miserable on the inside and wanting to know why me? Like, why am I having to, like, why can't I do me? Like, I'm ready for me. Like, and so I came across Chris's post. I was the heaviest I ever been. I remember sitting in my office, just a new position after my dad passed away. My mom had 2 strokes, put in a new position at work. So much stress. And I remember sitting in my office and crying and just praying out to God. I've tried everything to lose weight. I've tried everything to be healthy and nothing was working for me. And then I came across Chris's post about skinny drops. And I'm like, I don't care what it is. I don't care what it costs me. I trust her. So I'm doing this. And my life has been amazing since. I'm down from a size 10, 12 down to a size 6. No more pain, no more inflammation. My face was always just swollen, puffy, and red. I have no more arthritis in my hands, my knees, don't swell at the end of the day anymore. And I'm always just in a good mood. Like, I love being positive, and like they were saying, attract positivity. My husband would be like, yeah, you want to have a family cookout? And I'm like, no, they're all negative. They bring me down. So usually not. Like, okay, hang out with you guys. So the product and the company has just been a huge blessing to me. My last day of work is this Thursday. I work for Calhoun County School District. My salary pays our mortgage. And God told me I was worth more. And when he tells you that, and he tells you that he has more for you, you better obey. So my last day is Thursday. So I'm ready to be me. I'm ready to be bougie me. I'm ready to be bougie to my kids. So I'm really excited, and I love all of you guys. So, yeah. Oh, and I guess why I'm up here is Marty. Like I have people on my team, but I guess what's different, like you add people on your team, and they're like, yeah, I want to do this, but they really don't. Like they ghost you. They end up ghosting you. So at the meeting that we went to, she has been on the drops for a few months, month and a half. She's doing great. We went to a meeting, and that's another thing. If you know people are having meetings, go. Hey, I know you were interested, or I know you're doing the drops. We're having dinner. Why don't you come with me? Anyways, so we went to the meeting. She says, okay, I'm ready to sign up. I said, okay, great. And I showed her the packs that we had, and she purchased a 10-pack. And right after that, I said, all right, let's get to selling your skinny drops. When are we doing your launch party? I just told her what we were doing. I didn't say, okay, well, just get to me whenever you can have a launch party. Pick a date right now on your calendar. So July 9th. And then another thing that we had, was it Monday at dinner for the bistro in Maria.
Thursday.
Okay.
Last Thursday.
Yes. I had a girl who was interested in the drops, and I said, hey, we're all going to dinner, and I'll tell you more about drops. You want to go to dinner with me? She was like, sure. And then when they got to talk, she was like, what are we doing? I was like, oh yeah, by the way. Yes. She was like, what are we doing? I was like, oh, we're just going to talk about the drops a little bit. I know this would help you, so I brought you to dinner. So I had the box of drops that I knew she was going to buy with me. And at the end, she was asking me questions, what products I took, a lot of them. And I asked her goals, and she was like, well, I really want to be on the products for a while. She wants to be healthy. She has a lot of health issues. So I said, these drops are $150. You want to do the drops and the noni? It's $159. Why don't you just sign up as a member and you get my member pricing? So she signed up to be a member, and she also wants to make money in the business. So.
You're official now. So.
Yeah, and just getting people is to dinners or the draw talks in person. That gets them excited from hearing other people's testimony, not just yours. They see everybody. It's not a scam. Real people, real results. That's what I always tell everybody. So,
Yeah. That happened Friday night, and then Jennifer was right back an hour and a half in a different direction at a meeting we did in Mariana with another girl signed her up. So like just showing up, don't get 100 people there. Show up yourself and get one. And I always say if you're in a funk, the very thing you got to do is show up around positive people. That's when people segregate themselves, and that's the worst thing to do. You got to get back around somebody positive. And when you're in a funk, I think a funk too. Like one thing I learned about year 5 or 6 in network marketing 20 years ago is when I'm in a funk, shut up, go home, go to the beach, don't talk to people, because I like people can read you like a book. Just go recuperate, build your brain, and come right back and go again. It's normal. We're all human on fallen earth. Like nobody's perfect out here. Nobody. Okay, the next person. I will tell you this, and take it for what you want, women, and prove me wrong. My wife gets so mad. Matter of fact, I can't say it anymore.
You're about to get in trouble.
No, it's the truth, though. It's true. This industry is constituted by 90% women. And they constitute about 5% of the top earners. 95% of the top earners in this industry are men. You create all the problems. Generally, women self-sabotage. You guys think of things that they don't, like men don't even understand what you're thinking, much less actually think it. Okay? So take that for what it's worth. Find some emotional stability. Like men walk into a room, we'll meet 100 people. We won't remember the color of their shirt. We don't know what they wore. We don't know what their shoes look like. Yeah, I know exactly. Like that comes natural to women. But the negative side in network marketing is, listen, we're flawed. People are flawed. I'm very flawed. Got more flaws than anybody. Hang out with me for 3 weeks. Know me from a distance. I'm a great leader in network marketing. Know me up close. I'm like, oh my God, I've got problems. Okay? Listen, we're all flawed. And that's what you have to understand in network marketing. You cannot be judgmental of people, because you're going to build a massive team. And that team's going to constitute of a whole lot of people that are going to have personalities you don't like. You got to grin it, you got to bear it, and you can never talk to anybody about them, ever, under any circumstance. Like zero, never, none. Or you'll never have a big business. Because if you say it to another woman, it will be repeated. Guaranteed. And I've watched it destroy businesses for 22 years. And I say this in front of the room, and men hear me, but women don't, because they keep repeating the cycle. So I do believe there's some women in this room that can be top earners, but you're going to have to work on that part of it. I'm not talking about anybody in the room. This is just a generality that every woman has to deal with. That men, we don't have to deal with it. Our brain doesn't work that way. We just don't even notice it. Okay, that being said, I will tell you, Reese is the reason I'm saying this. Because Reese didn't even want to do the business. He was anti-everything. But once he got involved, the stability that arrived was stupid ridiculous. He showed up every day. His emotion was the same every day. He dug in and just does it. So in this room, there's been 2 different times I've given people away. One was I gave Walt Hallman to Kim. That led to Robin Perone, led to y'all's group. That leg now does 80. You'll see it in a second. I've recently got it on the screen. I think that leg did 81,000 volume last week. Okay. The reason her leg was close to optimizing already weekly, but it was my bulldozer guy. Who would have ever thought the bulldozer guy would lead to all you girls? Okay. I just knew I did not have time to deal with it. And I said, and I will only give away, you got to listen to me, this is for your own personal business. Never give someone to someone who needs help. They will always destroy it and still need help. It's like giving money to people that need money. They're still going to need money tomorrow. Don't blow that and need it again. Okay. Teach a man to fish and feed himself for a lifetime. So I learned many, many years ago, I'll only give away people to my very best people because they're the ones that are going to, number one, take advantage of it. And number two, take some pressure off of me having to work 24 hours a day fixing stuff. So that's what I told Kim. I said, Kim, I'll put this on your third leg. I said, you deal with it. When you need me, call me. Otherwise, I don't want to know anything Walt tells you. And she tried to tell me a couple things. That's why I put it on you. You deal with it. And then she did. But she dealt with it every day, all day. They got to Robin, then got to a lot of the girls in this room. So the same thing with Reese. There was a girl, a lady in his business that hit a couple in Canada that I knew that could be really good at this. But Canada's not quite ready yet. A lot of issues up there. And they're not going to be ready this fall. And I knew there was no possible way I could help them on a daily basis, deal with what they're going to have to deal with. So it was going to be in Reese's business already because this lady was in Reese's pay line. But I said, Reese, I'm going to give you the sponsorship. I didn't even tell him why. I just knew he could problem solve. And I feel bad sometimes because I'm in all the threads seeing what all he's got to do because he does still have a job. But it is a 24-hour-a-day job that he's fixing problems. But he's now grown that team to about 400 or 500 people overnight, fixing problems. I think he's got it now in 12 countries and all over the place. But this couple, and Reese will tell you, when you sign with network marketers, they don't bring teams. That's a misconception. They bring skill set. And Reese will tell you, they have built one person at a time all over again. But they're mentally strong, they're positive. When they have a problem, the world doesn't come to an end. They just got to get a solution. That being said, I'm going to introduce Mr. Reese Ambley, who I also believe will be a multimillionaire in this business.
Just some great trainings today. It's been I can't believe I have to follow all those people. Just absolutely amazing. So I will share my story. There's actually a couple of people in here that haven't heard my story, which really surprised me because I thought everybody had heard it. So I'm going to share my story real quick. As Todd said, I was against everything. I'm an analytical guy, skeptical by nature. When it comes to network marketing, I thought it was a pyramid scheme. I called it a scam. When it came to the drops, I called the drops snake oil. No way they're going to work. There's no product like that on the market that's really going to work. I'm sure a lot of people have heard that. That was me. So my wife brings the drops home and she says, hey, I'm going to do the business. My wife is Ashley. She is an Ashley, like Todd's Ashley. They're spitfires. So when she came in and said that, I laughed at her, rolled my eyes. I made fun of her. Krista can tell you that's probably not the thing to do to my wife. And so to smooth things over, I said, you know what? I'm going to take the drops. But I took the drops to prove her wrong, to show her, hey, it's just going to be like keto that I did. It's going to be like the new map that I did. I'm going to get off the sugar. I'm going to get off the sodas for a couple of weeks. I'm going to lose weight. And then about 3 weeks later, I'm going to get so moody, so angry, in withdrawals that I'm going to have my wife tell me, I don't even care anymore. Just eat a Snickers or something because I ain't dealing with you anymore. And that's pretty much how it went until the drops. About a week and a half after I started taking the drops, I laid down one night. I was like, I didn't crave or even have a soda today, which was crazy because I was drinking 5 or 6 a day. And then I thought to myself, I know this always sounds kind of like a little kid or childish, but I thought to myself, I didn't have my cookies and milk tonight. I always had to have cookies and milk. And when I say cookies and milk, it's not 3 Oreos, it's a whole pack of Oreos, at least 2 sleeves of Oreos, which is why I was 291 pounds. So the weight started to come off and I'm like, wow, this stuff's actually working. And now I'm down 65 pounds. So my blood works. Yeah, thank you. 65 pounds, my blood work, I was 6.2 on my A1C. So, they were getting ready to start talking about metformin and all that for me. And now I'm down to 5.2 on my A1C. So, my cholesterol, everything, thanks to the drops. But then on the business side of it, so again, even when the drops were working, I'm like, okay, whatever. And business side's still a scam. It's still a pyramid scheme. And then about 3 weeks into it, I'm complaining about my guitar. And Ashley says, well, let's go get that one that you wanted the other day. And I'm like, well, it's not in our budget. I work 65 hours a week. I have a great job. My wife has a great job. We make good money, but we have 5 kids. We live paycheck to paycheck, or we did. And I was like, we can't afford that. I was like, it's not in our budget. She said, well, I get paid for partner code. I'm like, how much could it really be? You've been doing this for like 3 weeks. Well, is it enough to go buy the new guitar? And that's when I said, hey, I want to meet this Todd guy you keep talking about. And Todd comes over, and this is going to kind of segue into what I'm talking about, because it's about building relationships. A lot of people have heard this part of the story where Todd shows me the compensation plan, and I'm like, okay, you can really make money. And that's really what happened. But that conversation only took about 5 minutes. The other time was spent talking about football, my kids, his kids, building a relationship with me. So that's what I'm talking about, building, and you're going to be like, how does this go together? We're going to talk about building relationships, working through your lines to build wealth, and the pay plan. How does the pay plan and all that go together? You're going to see here in just a second. So we're going to start first with new volume bonus. Of course, new volume bonus, you need to understand the business level first. The whole goal is to get to ultimate. The goal for your people in their first 4 Fridays is to get them to ultimate. Why is that so important? Somebody. Hey, and just so you know, this is going to be interactive today. Maximize the front pay, but what happens if you make money, if you get them to ultimate, and say they do it on their own, say they sell 30 boxes, that gets you to ultimate. How much money did they just put in their pocket for a month? Anybody know? It's about $1,800. Yep, around $1,800 you're putting in their pocket retail profits. Who's going to quit if they make $1,800 retail profit in their first month? Most people come in here expecting to what? Maybe make some money down the road, get a discount, whatever. You make them that money and they're sticking around. So we get them to ultimate, and we're going to only focus really on the ultimate, 30%. But new volume bonus, as you can see, if you're activated, you got 200 PV, that's 15% new volume bonus. Business is 20%, elite is 25%, and then ultimate is 30%. This pay plan that we have, and so Todd brought up Chris and Joni. Chris and Joni are network marketers. They didn't want to do network marketing anymore when we first sat down with them, when we did the Zoom. So as we're going, I spent probably a week with them going through the pay plan, because Chris could not, I mean, he's very analytical. He's like, where is the gotcha? Where is the gotcha? Because this sounds too good to be true. So this is why we are one of the #1 compensation plan. We were voted #1 last year. We're always going to be in the top 5 with our compensation plan, is because we have upfront money, we have residual money, and we have long-term money, which are our bonuses. We're going to look at 3 of those. Just if we get paid, how many ways do we get paid, guys? 9. We're going to look at just 3 of those today. And if we just had these 3, it would still be an amazing plan. All right. So with new volume bonus, it's paid on purchases by new customers that you bring in that come on to your account as a preferred customer, or any new brand partners in their first 4 Fridays. So the first 4 Fridays are important. Yes, you can still get them there after that, but it's very, very important to get that. Todd always says it. What does money love? Speed. So we want to get this done in this 4 weeks. So it's huge to do this. It benefits you, and I'm going to show you how it's going to benefit your team as well. It's paid based on your business level. We said it's 15, 20, 25, 30, but we want to hit that 30%. It's going to maximize your payout by going ultimate. So when you hit 1,500 PV, you will never place an order under yourself, or you shouldn't place an order under yourself unless it's your auto ship. Anything over 100 PV should be going so you can get new volume bonus. Instead of what happens if I put a 10-pack under me? How much percentage do I get it? If I'm ultimate, I buy a 10-pack under my account. How much do I get? 15%. That's what? That's $75, right? But if I sign up Stephanie and I need to pay that, I want to, I'm going to get a 10-pack. Why would I put it under me when I can put it under her and collect how much? $150. So new volume bonus and being upfront and getting that will change your business. You can double what you make in your business just with new volume bonus. Ashley and I, this is what Ashley was so good at before I was ever a part of it. She was good at saying, it's a recruiting tool too. You can say, because you're going to get 30%. So if you get somebody to Ultimate, how much money is that if you get them to Ultimate? $450. All right. So, but use it as a recruiting tool as well. You can say, hey, I need to place a 10-pack. So if you sign up now, I'll put you a 10-pack under you, and you're already a third of your way to Ultimate. So you're helping your team get there. And there's some other ways to help the team. The next piece of it is base pay. And hopefully, so base pay is what most companies are looking at. We have a very unique system. You'll hear people as you start talking to network marketers, they'll talk about binaries and multi-levels, all these different things. Ours is kind of a combination, and it's awesome the way this works. Because like in a binary, in this situation, you're only going to get paid, that's 2 legs. You're going to get paid on 4,000, not get paid on this other leg. When you add in a 3rd leg for us in a binary, you couldn't do that. That would come over here and you would have 6,000 here. So which one would you get paid on? The 4,800. But in our system, in our pay plan, we can build as wide as we want, as deep as we want. And you're only not going to get paid on your biggest leg. Every smaller leg, your weakest legs, but basically all legs but one, you're going to get 15% on. No cap as far as how deep it goes, only cap when we optimize. But there's so much more around that. So I don't want to spend too much time in this because we're going to do a demonstration here in just a second. So the next piece we'll talk about is real quick is match and check. Again, I'm going to do a demonstration so you guys can understand this a little bit. This is the absolute separator when it comes to recruiting other network marketers. Just looking at your generations, looking at your match and check right here. When you get Ultimate, you also get Gold. And when you get Gold, you unlock those first 3 generations. And what does that mean? What does a generation mean? So that means I sign up Stephanie. She's my 1st generation. Stephanie, you sign up Misty, that's 2nd generation. Misty signs up Krista, that's my 3rd generation. Y'all get that side of it? We're going to stand up and do that in just a second. But what's so great about this is on all of your legs. Every single person on your team, up to 7 generations, depending on what you have open. But to start off your first 3 generations, it doesn't matter where they're at, how deep, if they're the 1st level or they're the 100th level, it doesn't matter what leg they're on, you're going to get matching bonus. So somebody in your 1st generation makes $100. How much do you make? It's 15%. $15. So if Stephanie makes $100 this week, I make $15. Misty's my 2nd generation. How much is that? That's 10%. So that's $10. So right there, I've just made $25 in a bonus. This is not my base commission. This is not my new volume bonus. This is not anything else. This is just an extra percentage onto my check. So right now, I'm at 15, I'm at 10, I'm at $25. Now Krista has made another $100. How much do I get? $5. So where am I at? I'm at $30 that I made extra for doing what? Nothing. Or just making base pay. I've helped them. All right. So this is going to go with match and check. This is going to go with everything. Let me ask you guys this. Which line are you guys working? This is somebody's back office. They already ruined the surprise, but this is somebody's back office. What line are you spending time on? Correct answer is all. So most people in this room right here sit right here in this 81,000 PV. Most people, including Kim Gray. If Todd says, hey, I need to work on this low line, this 5,000. I need to spend my time there. What happens to the rest of us? He's not here with us right now. He's off doing other stuff. How many people in here have either been told or have said, and I have said this myself, I'm only working my pay line or my power line. I'm only working my power line. I'm not getting any results. I'm not making money because I'm working with my power line. Chris is laughing because her and I have had this conversation, but it's the same conversation because I said the same thing and I had the same conversation with Todd. That's why you work with your pay or with your power line. Your power line is still paying you that matching check. Your power line is stabilized. That's what
Stabilization is important.
Yeah. I want to go stabilization. Let's see. Todd's got one right here that's optimized, right? Todd, do you stop signing people up here? Heck no. Why? Why do you not stop right there? Why do you not stop putting people in that line? Somebody can quit.
Not somebody. People.
It's getting. How many in here have people on your team? How many people in here? This is an easier question. How many people on your team, when you look at your tree, everybody is green lit, meaning everybody is working, everybody's qualified. There, no, she has our people. So that means people will quit it. And what happens when they quit? You don't get paid. You lose their auto ship, they quit. They might take a whole team with them. You can literally lose a whole. So when you hear Todd talk, he's not happy. He's not feeling that stabilized until what, 30,000? It's the first time you go to sleep at night. Weekly 35,000. Himself says 45 to 50,000. EV volumes for the weekly. To feel stabilized, when you wake up in the morning on Saturday, your line needs to be optimized. If it's not optimized Saturday when you get up, it's not stable. If you're not hitting 35,000, it's not stable. Keep building. And I'm not saying you ignore all your other lines, but what I'm saying is you are making money on your power line. You are able to increase your business. Go ahead, Todd. Yes, because I want you and Anthony can chime in anytime.
We're going to have an unstable business until you treat everything the same. That was Kim's number one problem the first 3 years. She came from absolutely zero, but she was always positive. Like she didn't use it as an excuse. She said she's always moving forward. Like that's the reason I kept going back. We never had any good meetings with Kim early on. Like most of her meetings were 1, 2, or 3 and nobody else showing up. Her sphere of influence was really small. Her credibility for making money was zero. Nobody, none of her friends knew, all of her friends knew she didn't make money. So we had to start from scratch. So but mentally, she always was stable. But the one issue she had was if her leg flipped on a Friday, my phone was ringing. My leg just flipped, Todd. And what would she do? She would take all of her energy and go put it in the other leg. What would she do the next Friday? My legs had flipped, Todd. And I told her the same thing every time. Your business is going to go where your energy goes. I always tell. I've never shown that to anybody, but this room has got this issue going on. So that's the reason I told Reese could use it this morning. So that's Kim Grade's leg. That's Kristen White's leg. That's Ken Bailey, Susan Frank leg. That's Chris Dole leg. None of those people would have a clue those legs do that kind of volume. I mean, what the heck am I going to do in a leg that's 200,000 a week? That's a weekly volume check. And that, the dollars wise, that's, it's like 1.6. So it's like a $400,000 week in that leg.
Hey, but now keep in mind, it caps, or I don't want to say caps, but when you get 13,334, that's the stop of your base commission.
So go ahead. What would you feel like if I said you're my power leg? I don't have time to work with you. Exactly. Who would even think to say that? Only the people that don't know better. That's the reason I'm trying to teach you better. You can never say that. or you'll never have a stable business. Like you're always going to be fighting it because you're always like my energy. But I also give this warning too. I always tell Kim the same thing. I give this to anybody that's dealing with it. You've got to work it nonstop, but you cannot use it as an excuse to not be recruiting on pay legs and building them too. So what does that take? More time, more energy. I mean, it's just more until you finally keep, like Reese right now is literally working 24 hours a day. For those that don't know, he got rushed to the hospital last week. Ashley texted me last night, didn't know he could even make it today. He literally, because I gave him Canada and I've really been hard to get a hold of on that side. He knows it. I like Reese, deal with it. And he's dealt with it the whole way through, but he's working 16 hours a day to get it done. But when he starts making $1 million, everybody calls it lucky. Like, oh, you're so lucky, Reese. Yeah, those people in Canada join your business.
Must be nice. All must be nice. Like,
Hey, and I'm going to add this is a social media tip, and I'm not calling Krista out. I'm not making fun of Krista. Krista is one of our best friends, and Travis is too. But when Chris and Joni reached out, they reached out to 3 different people. They weren't friends on their friend list, but they reached out to 3 different people. And so it goes into that little category that says message request. How many people ignore that because you don't want spammers? I'm going to advise you, do not ignore that. Why, Kristen?
Bite you in the ass.
Because the first person, go ahead, Kristen.
So I had a message from Chris Budd, who we're talking about, the Canadians, and I thought it was a scam. I never answered him.
So,
hey, what is this business that you're into?
So most people don't even check that. But because then he reached out to another person on one of my other legs. So Krista's in our second leg, and has always been our power leg. So it was one of those things. I never wanted to work with. This is a different, but I was like, Krista, I'm here to help you, but you're my power leg. Y'all y'all do that. And I'm working. So I'm telling you, when I say I've been there, I've been what Krista said. Kim Gray's been there, what we said. We all said, because we didn't get the power leg side of it. We didn't get that we're still making money, that we're actually needed to build those relationships. But back to what Krista did. The next person that Chris reached out to was somebody in my first leg. And they were like, they responded. And when they responded, guess what? Now that first leg, that lady, now it has grown, whatever. I mean, it's like 400 people in the business is crazy. And that team is on fire, but it does take a lot of work. But there's building relationships. That's the next piece we're going to talk about. So within that, who is it? Where are you responsible to build relationships? Where should you be building your relationships? So first through like 3 generations, because you're only getting matching check on just those. Why?
Because 3 can drop out, and you need to still get 5 going.
There you go. You don't know who's going to do this. You don't know who's not going to do this. The people think they're going to take off. You might not ever see them again. It may be 4, 5, 6 levels deep, 6 generations deep that you hit somebody and then it takes off. Had you not built a relationship, and I'll just use this just because Krista and Jennifer are here. Krista is our direct, we signed her up. Krista signed up Jennifer. If Krista somewhere just said, I don't want to do this anymore and left, and I never spent any time with Jennifer, what's going to happen to Jennifer? Most likely she's going to leave too. If Todd Roman said, I don't need base pay from you guys. I'm done with you. I'm working on another leg. I want to build another leg. I want to optimize another leg. I'm not going to spend time here. What would have happened to Reese and Ashley, to Stephanie, to Krista, to Misty, to Jennifer, to almost everybody in this room? What would have happened? I know Kim and Eric's talking, but Kim, I'm going to call. What would have happened if you and Ashley and Todd would never have reached out to these girls that are way down? Now, so what happens there? We would have been gone. That whole group of girls you saw on the picture up there that she talked about in Puerto Rico, every single one of them would probably be gone. Maybe not Kristen or Allison, but the rest of them would not be here. I know Ashley and I would not be here. Ursula, would you have been here? No. But because Todd, because Kim, because Ashley Rowland took the time to go and work around, and this is where Robin Perone did so good, is she said, here's these people, go Kim. So she stepped out of the way and allowed Kim and Ashley to come in and build relationships with these girls. Down another level, down to Jennifer, down to Ursula from Stephanie, just continually building those relationships.
Say something.
Yeah, go ahead.
So the moral of that story is, do not seclude your people.
Right.
Every person you put in, I don't care if you sign up 2,000 people before the end of the year. If Reese is my sponsor, he gonna meet everyone that he gets time for. He gonna get tired of my phone call. Kim Gray should meet him. Todd Rowland should meet him. Why? Because if something in your life happens, you at least want your people to feel comfortable enough to call a success line. Upline, success line, I call it success line. So it is all up to you. So just remember, always plug your people in. I don't care if it's a group text. I study. I mean, me and Todd act just alike. We think alike. I'm just younger than he is. But I always watch him. He always finds successful people and he goes and studies. When y'all women came in, he's like, I'm not launching that to everybody. Yeah, I gotta watch it. Even though Ashley and Kim were doing all the work, but he was on the back end, taking notes, seeing what it was, and educating himself. But we watched Michelle McKay, what she did. Same thing. We watched it. And we studied what they were doing. And what they're doing is getting people started and getting them connected with their success line. So that's just something I want to add there.
Yeah, it just, I mean, what Anthony's saying is let your upline, he said it earlier, you're not good at everything. Let your upline help you. Let the people in your business, hey, let your non-upline, just your cross line like Anthony help. But seriously, it is about building relationships. Most of us are in this business. We want to make money, yes. But one of our first goals, one of the first things that we think of, and I heard it when we were in Puerto Rico, and this is what really, really kind of brought it home for me, is hearing all these girls talk and really sharing their why and being so vulnerable. What really, I mean, it just, we're in here because we've seen our lives change. We want to see other people's lives change. And so with that is building relationships. So it is so, so important to dig down all the way. It doesn't matter if it's 10th generation, 11th generation. Just take Chris and Joni for one more second. I've spent more time on that side because they're signing up so many people. They can't keep up. Their people can't keep up. So I'm helping over there. I'm building relationships with them because who knows? Chris and Joni live down in Costa Rica. They may say, I'm done with this. And then there's a whole team of people that I could lose like that if I don't have a relationship. But guess what? I spend hours a day building those relationships because they're from all over. They're in 12 different countries. So that means at 3 o'clock in the morning, I'm getting texts saying, hey, I got this issue. But anyway, building international is fun, but it's not for the faint of heart sometimes. Okay, we're going to do one quick exercise. I don't want to say quick, but just so you guys understand back to the paper. You want to say something, man?
No,
yes. All right. So we're going to build 2 lines here, and we're going to build generations, and we're going to see how like the matching bonus will work with this, how our base pay will work with this. And really what I really want y'all to see is how new volume is going to help your whole team, not just you and the person you put it under. So what was your name again? I'm sorry. Christina. I'm signing Christina up today. Stand up. All right, so that's fine. So Anthony, I'm signing Anthony up, and my second line, you can help me go. Now, Anthony, who you signing up?
I'm going to sign up Stephanie.
Stephanie. All right, Stephanie. So, stay where you at.
Okay, sorry.
Stand up, though. All right. Now, who are you signing up?
Just point to.
All right, Jennifer's up. Perfect. So right now, she's my first generation. She's my first generation. Sorry. He's my first generation. Stephanie's my second. Jennifer's my second. All right. Now I'm going to sign up and see, she's on my team and I haven't got to know her yet. What's your name again? Marty. Marty, stand up. I'm gonna sign up Marty. So, and here in just a second, remember what generation you're is, because I'm gonna have you hold up your hand. All right.
So you're first generation.
No, she's first generation.
He
She's first generation. All right. Now I'm going on a building spree here, Anthony.
Okay.
So I'm building both sides because you ain't doing anything on your line.
Okay.
So I'm placing her. I'm going to place her in line 1, right under Jennifer.
So
Here,
when it comes to placing as well, everybody, if you do not know where you want to place them, when you're signing them up, make sure it just says default. Do not place them nowhere. And it's gonna put them in the placement queue where you get 48 hours to talk to your success line and see where the best place is to enroll them. So just always remember that.
Yeah, let your success line. So I'm going on because Anthony's not doing anything. This group's not doing anything. I got to build this myself. All right, so I'm signing up Miss. She's my first generation. What was your name? Linda. Linda, first generation. Stephanie, first generation. Another one from Fort St. Joe that I'm missing out on because she's not on my team and I've known her all my life.
Oh.
I still owe her shrimp because that's what I do. She's my first generation. All right. First generation. Stand up. What was your name? Okay. All right. So here we go. I've got a bunch of first generations there. It's looking good for my math and check here because that's 15%. I'm making good. Logan, you're my first generation. Stand up in that. Stand up in that chair, Logan. Here, Logan, so we can see you. I was going to do it with Jennifer's daughter too, but Jennifer's daughter checked out on us. All right. So all these people I've signed up, but Logan's my newest member here. He's the guy that I'm going to put my new volume bonus in. All right. Misty, sign somebody up for me real quick. Right. All right. Stephanie, sign Krista up. All right. There we go. All right. I'm going to put my new volume bonus down here in Logan. 500 PV. What happens to that 500 PV?
Rolls all the way up.
All the way up. So now, how much PV?
500.
All right. But he has no other legs. So does he get paid on that 500 PV? Nope. But that's okay because what are we doing?
Build.
We're helping him build his power leg.
He just got.
All right. Misty, your daughter has 200 PV. You get how much coming up from Logan? Now remember, this is a different leg. She's not in this leg. She's signed off over here. So she's on a second leg for Misty. So she's got a leg that's got 200, and now she's got a leg that's got 500. If she didn't have that, how much does she get paid for her daughter? Nothing. But because she has Logan's 500 coming up, how much does she get paid?
15%.
15% of which one?
The 200.
Of the 200. All right. Sorry. I know this is confusing, but I'm trying to, yeah. All right. Now that 500 keeps going, but Misty just made, she would have made 0. Now Misty's making 15%, making $30. $30. Right there. She just put $30 in her check. What did Misty do to do that? Nothing. But I just helped her build her team. So now she's got a power leg and she's getting paid on the leg she's building. But Krista's rocking it. Krista's sold 2 10-packs. She's got 1,000 PV. If I haven't placed the 500 PV on Logan, what does Stephanie make off that?
150. I mean,
nothing because we have 0 coming up through here. There's no PV on this at all. Actually, there's 200 coming up this way.
Okay.
So yes. Yep. Come on. So, but anyways, just to stay like this, she's got 1,000. But now I put that 500 on Logan. What happens? Comes up. What do you get paid?
75.
You're getting 15% of which one?
Of the 500.
Of the 500. So now we just built her a pay leg. Now she's getting paid on what I just put under Logan.
And how many,
did you get that?
How many levels? 3 levels deep.
Yeah,
but this is where, if I would have put 500 PV on me,
nobody.
Who gets anything from what I just did. Me, I get 75 bucks. Stay here in stage. All right. Exactly. But because I came back here and I dropped him in at the very lowest, this is part of the placement. I dropped him at the, my lowest line that wasn't doing as much PV or whatever. I dropped him at the very lowest point to help the most people I could. So that helped everybody all the way down this line. And you can do the same thing on the other lines. You can keep building that way. Your team's doing that. And when you start doing that, all that volume just flows up and helps everybody. That is why people love this pay plan so much on the front end income. It's because I'm getting paid, not only am I not, I'm just getting my 75, I'm getting 150 now because I placed it under him and not under me. Misty's making money. He's making money now where they would not make money. Any questions on that? I know there's questions. Come on.
That's why we want to do the example. Go ahead, Courtney.
Okay. So as you're building on base pay, you don't get base pay on your largest leg, which is what we call our power leg. So when Stephanie here just has Krista's, her PV, the only PV she's got is coming from Krista's leg. Krista's on the second leg over here. She's not getting anything because Krista is her power leg. But everybody in here is zero right now. As soon as Logan gets that 500 PV, it comes back up to her, and that creates a pay leg because she's still the power leg, because she's 1,000 PV, but she's getting paid on 500 PV of blood outtakes. You understand that? All right. Now, go ahead, Anthony. You got something to say.
And this can go on as deep as you want. So a lot of y'all know I helped pretty much launch Nigeria. Well, one of the top leaders there, he got started. I placed him about 50, 60 levels deep. And all that volume that they do, it just rolls up to everybody that has their subscription on. Now, let me also add that if you do not have your subscription on, you will lose out on keeping that power leg volume. You also will lose out on your business awards that you want to go on the trips like you seen recent Ashley and Todd and Eric and Kim and Ashley. Roland went on when they went to the Bahamas. I mean, not the Bahamas, to Tahiti. Well, guess what? Well, Kim and Eric went to the Bahamas as well. So, but the reason they got to go there was them business rewards. Not only growing your business, our company rewards you for building your business. So the more people you help and the more success you start to have, you can use that as well. But it doesn't matter where you place that person, it helps everybody above them. So any other questions?
All right. Now we're going to do real quick matching pay. You still got to stand up, but this is so this over here, we were considering this. I should have said this earlier. This was my power leg. I'm working on my pay leg right here. So I didn't put anybody over there, but I'm going to change this up a little bit. Now these are all going to be generations. So you signed up Jennifer, Jennifer signs up Marty, Marty signs up, signs up, signs up. So it's going to be generation. This side, y'all can sit down. All right. Generation wise, matching check. All right. Matching check. And remember, this goes on every single line. Remember, this is what? My power line or my pay line? My power line. So am I getting paid on them? Matching check, I am. So here's how I'm going to get paid on them. Each one of these people are going to do $1,000 in a week in their base commission. All right. So generation one, what am I collecting off of?
$150.
$150 matching check. Did you hear Stephanie? I'm looking at her when I'm doing math, and she says, "Don't look at her." All right, Jennifer, second generation. She did $1,000 base commission. So where am I at now? Matching check. $250. Marty, third generation. $1,000. So where am I at? All right. So here is I don't have it up there. After you get ultimate and gold, you unlock 3. Once you hit 500 in base commission, you hit 4. Once you hit 1,000, you hit 5. And then you need to optimize a line for the next one and an optimized line for the next one. So let's just say that I've got 500 base pay, or let's just say I got an optimized line, one optimized line, so we can go all the way back. So 4th generation, what does she get? What do I get? She made $1,000. How much do I get?
50.
So where am I at, Anthony? 350. $1,000 again. $50. So where am I at? 400. $50 again. I should. There we go. $450 from my power line because they're being successful, because I've created relationships, because their upline has created relationships with their downline. So they're making money. So if they're making money, who else is making money? You are. There you go. And then Todd. But again, so yeah, Ken and all. But that's so great about this. Everybody can be seated. Thank you guys for being sports for that. I know that was long, and I know that was kind of tedious. And so I just want to share real quick. Hold on, before I want to share. I did this all on the slide, and I was explaining it to my wife, who's been in the business and understands the pay plan. Huh? Oh yeah. So my wife says, "Can you repeat that?" You make no sense. You can't teach anybody. So I said, okay. So I deleted that presentation, and this is what we went with. So thank you guys. You guys are awesome.
Okay. All right. Well, now we get to introduce the last 2, Sammy. The last 2. The last 2 is going to be the 2 that really put this room together for the most part, besides Michelle McKay and Brent Pump as well. But the 2 that are here, they've done a lot. They've had a lot of success. You heard Kim's story earlier, starting from the bottom and making it happen. And you also get to hear from Todd here, who I believe is the best of the best. If you get to hang around and if you study anybody in this industry, you'll learn that he just gets it done. And he has a heart for people. He's going to work with anybody who wants to work. Again, he's going to work with anybody who wants to work. So if you want Todd's attention, you got to go to work. You want Michelle McKay's attention, you gotta go to work. Kim has a big heart. She's gonna work with some people who don't want to work all the time, but she also wants to work with the people that work. So now I'm gonna get to pass it on over to Todd Kim.
Okay, so this is the last 20 minutes. We're going to do some product training, but I've got a recording with Kristen White that we did a few Saturdays back that goes through all the key products, and it's on Anthony Moreland's YouTube channel where everything ends up. It's done on the Zoom. So what we're going to spend the last 15 to 20 minutes doing is talking about how to elevate your business. And listen, this whole business is a journey, and everybody's at different stages in the room. So some things that Kim and I will say, you may not be in that stage yet, and don't let it scare you, worry you, fear you, anything. But this last segment, what we'll talk about now is like, how is Kim making $250,000 a year? And what does she do differently than people who aren't? Number one, time. You've been here almost 5 years, not 5 months. It's the big deal. You've got to give this business time to compound into time. Nobody's going to make $250,000 the first year most of the time. I mean, there's always an anomaly. Michelle McKay may be that anomaly, but they're very rare. And she's very good. And we all know that show up on the IPA calls. She's in a different town, city, state, or country every single day. Like 99.99% of the world will not work as hard as Michelle McKay does. So that you don't have to. You just take your time. If you're not, don't let that kind of thing scare you. Let me get this set real quick. So this is Susan Frank's house right now. So the way Ashley and I operate is people ask me all the time, why do you work so hard? And I ask them back in a polite way, who should I say no to? Like, you want me to say no to you? Or do you want me to say no to somebody else? Because the reason we work hard is we just say yes. So like she was going to be here today, but like Wednesday of this week, Susan Frank called and said, hey, I got leaders coming in from all over the country. We're doing a Y training. Ashley wants you to come train on the Y. So like literally in 24 hours, we booked the ticket to her to North Carolina. So she flew out yesterday to North Carolina. So that was yesterday. There are actually a lot of, look at Susan Frank's page. They got in, I think 13 different states flew in there. If you don't know Susan Frank's story, same as a lot of you girls in this room. I met her the same way. She was a mom of, at that time, one child. She has 4 now. And she actually quit her job as a nurse before I met her because it would not give her maternity leave, extended maternity leave when her child was a little sick. She just quit and they didn't have the money for her to quit. She found the business. Her husband was a Reese, almost made her quit before she got started. She was very shy. But you never know what's in a person's heart. Like outward things, you just never know. Desire is the $1 million trump card. Desire trumps everything. That's the reason when somebody shows up here and they're already making $4 million a year, I don't care how talented they are, they may not have the desire to go do what it takes to get to the start. I like finding people of average income that are desperate for an above average life. And they're willing to go through a fire to get there. I never wish harm on anybody. But when Samantha told me y'all lost a book of business, I was like, that might be because y'all are freaking talented. Y'all are unbelievable. Like, you're one of those people I met at lunch and I walk away and I'm like, they could be millionaires here. But I also knew you were already making $25,000 a month, what you already do, which doesn't surprise me because you've got a $1 million personality. But when she said you lost a book of business, I'm never happy about that. That might be the one thing.
No. Got a contract this week for $4.3 million.
Keep telling it.
Yeah, more people.
What did you call about them? Oh, they got it back. Well, that's what a $1 million personality does. They always replace the loss.
Yeah, that was another one. Yeah, move on to the next one because you don't.
Well, let me share that real quick. That's a $1 million piece of advice. Because Samantha did call it, God lost a group of business.
Yeah, no, so we do insurance and investments. We actually started through corporate and then we were sending so much business out the door to other brokers that we said, hey, let's start working individually. So our firm, we have 55 different carriers in our portfolio. We have the best of the best. So what Samantha's actually talking about, we had a work site that had about 1,000 employees. When we go into work sites, we do everything. So we do their major medical, dental, vision, retirement, long-term, short-term disability, life, any kind of insurance that they need, we can help them. Investments as well. And so this particular group, we've been working on them for 5 years. They are just not in a place yet where they said, hey, we're ready to take the plunge. I say this to say that when someone shows you that they are not where you are at, don't get down in the dumps. Move on. So my dad was in sales. My dad always said, it takes 9 no's to get that 1 yes. Now, I have a little bit higher success rate on that 10%, but that doesn't mean that every time I have a higher turnover or a higher success rate. So don't get stuck on the ones that are not where you are at. Move on, move forward. Don't get hung up here because you're headed there. So Alex and I, we actually had the best day of our firm's history on Thursday. We won a contract for about $4.3 million on Thursday, and that's residual every single year. Now we will continue to grow on top of that, but be available. And how we got that was because we treated someone right. We went into another business and we had built a relationship with that business owner. And through that, he saw how hard we worked for he and his employees. And this business owner has, let's say, about 40 employees. And he introduced us to a large hospital group that have a lot of doctors, but they were upset with one of their carriers. So they have 15,000 patients. Our information is going out on a letterhead this next week to their 15,000 patients, and they are having them to call us to have us to put them in a different major medical plan. So sometimes it's not what you know, sometimes it's who you know. Sometimes it is how you treat people, because how you treat people, you may not know that what you are doing today will radically change your business in a year. So the business owner that actually introduced us to this medical group, we have been working with him for about a year. And y'all, we are very successful, but $4.3 million is a lot of money. And that fell into our lap because of how we treat people, because of our customer service. It does not cost anything to be nice.
Well, I'll also say, because you're talking about it, too.
But so we love Jesus. Yeah. And he was first in everything that we do in life.
Okay, so we're going to give you like 4 fundamentals, and then we're going to turn it over to Kim so you can actually hear what she does now on a weekly basis. So the first thing is, I don't have to read the slide, you can see it. But I will tell you the cultivate and harvest is 3 years. So anytime you're building a new leg, so if you're brand new, every leg you're building is new. But even for me, if I go start a new leg, no matter what I know, it's the same process. And the process is every meeting will suck for a long time. So when I got Kim and a new leg 5 years ago, every meeting, she'll tell you, every meeting we did, if you're looking and gauging it toward a meeting like this, they all sucked. It was one person here, 2 people there. In the early days, this is before Kim lost the weight, she was still in a lift chair, couldn't leave the house. I would go do all the appointments by myself. She would just call and set them up, tell me where town to go to, and I would just drive all over the place. So how did David Daughtry end up in her business? How did David Daughtry end up? I know I went and met him at the barbecue restaurant, but I don't know who led you to him.
Barbara Dean.
How did you get Barbara Dean?
I used to help her sell rainbow vacuum cleaners. I knew her. And so then whenever she was my very first person that I sold that signed up under me. And her husband had a knee replacement and David was his physical therapist. And so Barbara Dean signed up David Daughtry.
Except it didn't happen like that. That sounds easy. How it happened was Barbara Dean didn't know anything she was doing, mentioned it to David, called Kim, Kim called David, and Kim got David to agree to let me buy him lunch in Andalusia, Alabama. I drove 2 hours to Andalusia, bought him lunch. He did not sign up. About 2 weeks later, Kim got him back again. We went again, and he did sign up. And he asked, what do I do? And I said, put me in front of people. And guess what David did? He put me in front of people. I mean, some people do, some people don't. He just happened to be one that did. And for my part, one thing you learn through the years, I don't care. Makes me no difference. If I tell you to put me in front of people and you don't, I don't care. I'll find somebody who will. I mean, so that when you get to that level, you don't get emotionally jerked around. Because if you let people, they will screw your head completely up in this industry. Just know, 90% suck when it comes to this business. They do. They're distracted. They don't make time for it. They don't show up. They don't keep an auto shoot. They complain. Like if you don't ever accept it for what it is, you'll never have fun doing this. Like I'm looking for the 10% that want to change their life, and they're going to get every ounce of energy in my body, and we're going to change that person's life. And we do it over and over and over. So the cultivate the harvest stage, when we got the weight off of Kim, and Kim got to where she could go a little bit, the next person she hit on leg 2 was a lady named Pam Dodd. We drove 3 hours together. I drove 6, she drove 3. We did a meeting. 2 people showed up. One was Pastor Buford, who some of y'all got to meet in Dothan, and the other was Pam Dodd. And Pam Dodd joined, and she did one thing. She told Kim she could set a booth up at a Christian retreat she was preaching at. Kim did, and Kim signed up one person at that retreat, Sonia Infinger. And because Kim was coaching, she says, Todd, signed up Sonia Infinger, and she told me Sonia's husband was a 2-term attorney general and a big developer in Alabama. So what does my brain tell me in network marketing? She's got credibility. That's all I care about. I didn't care anything else. I knew if she invited people, they would show up. So I said, call her, see if she'll do a meeting. And Sonia said, heck yeah, I'll do a meeting. And when I went that first time, Sonia put me in front of like 15 people. And before I left, we already had the date I was coming back. Once I find somebody's gonna put me in front of people, we just go, go, go. So Kim and I, and Eric, we went for at least 2 years. We never hit a stud. Sonia was a great recruiter, but I mean, they're worth a lot of money. And she's not a great builder at that time. And she is now. She's building by herself right now and doing a great job of it. She grew. But Kim and I kept going, and we finally hit good people. Ernest, you would know. Pam Dodd has now come to life. So Pam Dodd is actually now $1,500 a week. She didn't even know what she was in for 2 years. She just had one runaway power leg. And all of a sudden she realized when she started putting it in the pay leg, she was getting paid. So just know it is a process. And until you get good at not getting emotionally jerked around and investing in other people's lives and not feeling sorry for yourself, you got no chance to really have a harvest because you're going to be destroying it as fast as you're building it. How do you do it? This whole business is built on faith. And if you don't have Jesus in your life, it's going to be a struggle. I mean, in the early days, I wanted to quit this 1,000,000 times. And the issues I dealt with year one are exactly the same issues I deal with today. They have never changed. People are the same. When I started collecting Amway, I was not in Amway, but I would collect their tapes. I would listen to their speeches. The things they were dealing with in the 60s and 70s are the same things. It's like the human nature just repeats itself over and over and over. I was handed this book early on. It's called The Prayer of Jabez. If you don't know the story, it's really, really simple. There was a lady in the Old Testament that had a baby, and she had tremendous birth pain. In the old days, all names had meanings. So she named her baby Jabez, which means pain. So Jabez was born with the name pain. And somewhere along his life, this is in the verse, it says, he called out to God and he said, "Oh God, please bless me indeed. Please enlarge my territory. Please protect me from evil so I may not cause harm." So everybody does things differently. But for me, when I read the book and started praying the prayer, I wasn't praying for Jabez. I was praying for Todd and Ashley and our family and our kids. I was like, God, please bless me indeed. Please enlarge my territory. And I'm in it. And then I had to have the faith to receive it. So I cannot tell you how many times people told me that God brought them this business and they quit on me 6 weeks later. Like I see it all the time. I'm like, well, how did he bring it? And you can quit on them that easy. So I didn't say I didn't want to quit. I just said I had a mountain of faith. And every new leg I start, I have to have the same faith again. Can I really take a walk, bulldoze in my land and find a Robin that finds a Stephanie and a Krista and who else? But it just does it every time. Every single time I sign up really bad people personally, and eventually they lead me to somebody good. So Randy, the guy that's lost 150 pounds, that leg you saw there, I think I was showing Kim his leg. That's the leg I'm concentrating on, the new leg. It's doing about 5,000 to 7,000 a week. Randy's the best person I've ever sponsored in 22 years. And we're at month 7, and that leg's averaging about 5,000 a week now. So you're talking about a full-time network marketer and somebody that's really good at personally sponsored, and it's taken that long. A general rule of thumb, it takes about 2 years to get legs optimizing. So be working on about 3 over that time frame. And in 3 years, 2 to 3 years, you got 3 legs optimizing, you're at $400,000 to $500,000 a year in our company. All right, that being said, I'll turn it to Kim now. Yeah, I just wanted to show you only that sign up. So what I wrote last night, I said, Kim, only about 10 people in the whole business can do what you just did. Drives my wife crazy. I don't have a calendar. I don't put anything in my phone. Why? Because I am so engaged. I know everything. I know everybody's business better than you know your own business. I know where people are. I know my meetings. I know everything. Like my brain I'm like a laser focus. So last night at dinner, Kim was telling me her schedule next week. And when she got done, because she always makes the joke, I don't want to be a Todd Jr. I said, you are a Todd Jr. You're doing exactly what I do. And but last night, I want you to share the story that you told me last night, and then I want you to tell how everything got set up. Your next week's schedule.
Let me get over this week first. Okay. Tuesday morning, me and Eric would get up and we will go to Millbrook. I have a lunch party set up in Millbrook with Sarah at her house. We will leave there, go find a motel room. And between there and Birmingham, I will be in Birmingham Wednesday night at another lunch party for another lady named
Oh, I forgot her name. What's her name? Oh, well, anyway, Miss Carol's daughter. Oh, Pagan. I got that for Wednesday night. Thursday morning, I'm going to get up Thursday morning and I am going to do some training with some people that just joined. I'm going to meet them at a Starbucks and I'm going to do training with them Thursday morning at 10 a.m. At 2 p.m. that afternoon, I'm going to train somebody else at the same Starbucks. So me and Eric will leave and we'll go get something to eat. We'll come back. I will train somebody else at 2 o'clock. Thursday night, I have about 2 hours to get to Gardendale. I had to think. Gardendale. I've got a big launch party with, I don't know if y'all heard the man on the IPA the other morning that said that he blocked me for a year, but now he's back on. And he regrets that he blocked me. I can tell you. His name is Mr. Jeff. I will have there's been 50 plus people that's already reserved to be there. That's in Gardendale. He just started 3 weeks ago. He just started back live 3 weeks ago. Then we'll go find another motel for Thursday night. Friday morning at the hotel that I'm going to be at, Pam Dodd and her husband is going to meet me there in the lobby at 9 a.m. I'm going to do training with them. Then at 1 p.m. Friday afternoon, I'm going to go somewhere. I got to come up with a place that I'm going to meet this new couple that just joined to do some more training and to talk to somebody with them. Then we're going to get in our car. We're going to go on to Huntsville. And Friday night, I'm going to be with Angela because she's going to be there at Dr. Roberts' clinic. And so I'm going to be there with Dr. Roberts and Sonia and Angela. That's Friday night. Saturday morning, I'm going to get up and I'm going to go to Sonia Infinger's house. She's going to have a brunch from 9 to 12. She's going to have people over. They take advantage when I'm there, I promise you. So we're going to do that. Then we're going to get in the car and then we're going to drive till 3 o'clock Saturday afternoon. I'm going to be in Raglan, Alabama. Raglan. Some of these towns, I'm telling you. But I'm going to be there at 3 o'clock to 5 o'clock at a nurse practitioner. Then I'm going to be home, sweet home, until the following week. And let me tell you, then my other leg, which is David Daughtry, they done told me to block that whole week out. I said, but David, that's 4th of July. Block the whole week out for them. So I know I've got the whole week out for them. So I blocked it out. But then guess what? The following week, that Tuesday, I'm going to be back at Millbrook. They've already got something planned. I think it's the 11th of July. The 13th of July, I'm already back in Birmingham. And the 13th, I'm going to be at Buffy. And yes. Is that Athens? Yes, Athens. Alabama, yeah. Yes. So, and then I'm going to Colorado sometimes after that.
So, by the way,
I am busy.
None of that happens by accident. She's making all that happen. She's telling them to set the launch party. She, like, every one of those things are directed by Kim Gray. Don't think she just got better people than you. Like, everybody is the same. So this is how we're going to conclude the meeting. I know what everybody thinks when they hear that. They're like, Eric, I want you to come up and close this. I want you to tell us where Kim was when y'all joined the company, mentally and physically.
Well, I'll be honest with you. Kim told y'all she had her disability, but she hides it good. Nobody knows how bad it is but me. So when we first started this, she was, I don't want to say this, but what you call a couch potato. That's all she wanted to do, sit on the couch, watch TV and not go anywhere. So when we got into this, I didn't get into this for the money. I wanted it for the health wise. The money just fell in place. The business fell in place after we got started. But it had got to where she wouldn't go anywhere. She wouldn't go anywhere with her 2 daughters. I couldn't get her to go nowhere. She'd always tell us to go by ourselves and have all the fun. And I got to feeling guilty. So I just got to where I wouldn't go anywhere either. I just sit there at the house with her. So when this come around, I'm telling y'all, she's done a 90% turnaround in what she is now. She can move around. She can go play by herself. She doesn't have to just rely on me anymore. And it's these products and this business has just been a miracle for us.
Just talk a bit about what the money does.
I'll put you on the spot. But I mean, you know, we live from check to check, just like any other normal person that's trying to make it in the world. And then 5 years now, I mean, we got everything paid for. We don't owe nobody, and we live life like we want to live now.
And you
We go. I'm retired. We go where we want to go. We go where we want to go. Got 2 grandbabies we do a lot with, and
we busy. Keep you busy.
She keeps me busy. I told her last week, I said, I'm ready to go back to work.
This is work.
Thank you. Thank you, Cam. I'm going to give you a hug. I've been watching Cam over these 5 years, and I can honestly say your positivity, your energy, how you help everybody, how you're always giving, caring. I admire you so, so much. And I appreciate you coming. I'm so glad that you made it. You're able to share, and we'll get these drops into the hands of millions.
That's right. Thank you.
So I know y'all, anybody who's on the IPA call, y'all know how we ended. So today we're gonna do it here on the Super Saturday. And we're gonna I want everybody to grab hands, touch somebody that's in the room, and we're gonna end it off in prayer if y'all don't mind.
This is just absolutely amazing to be. I mean, that's one thing I love about this company. I love it on the IPA call. Anthony makes sure we pray every single time. I love listening to Misty's lives that she does in prayers. I do, because this is, as Todd said, this is hard business. And if you don't have Jesus, if you don't have faith, it takes a lot of faith, and just so happy that God has brought all of you in my life. Let's pray. Father God, I just thank you for this day. I thank you for keeping everybody safe that came over here. Lord, I just pray for traveling mercies as they go back to all the states they came from, Lord. Lord, I just thank you so much for this group of people and them in my life. Lord, that it truly, without the business, without the help anyways, the friendships and the family that has been built around me in this last little bit has just been so amazing and just nothing but a godsend. And I thank you so much for that. Lord, I thank you for everybody being willing to able to help each other, actually cares for each other. But Lord, I just pray that we always remember in all of this, whether it's business or it's health or it's just everything in our lives, Lord, that you are number one, that glory goes to you, Lord. Lord, and I just pray for each and every one and for everybody's business here, Lord, that you will bless that. Lord, that you will work through that to build our territories, but also to build your kingdom. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Let's go. Can we get a group photo?
Yeah.
So let's come up to the front so we can get a big old group photo. Big old photo. I'm short. Paul's in the back. I always not. I can start to go online.